Call now. 800-687-5192. That's 800-687-5192. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-687-5192.
Don.
I'll be licking the television screen. Licking it like it's ice cream.
Hahn.
Oh, the type of music I listen to would make you cry.
And Rosenberg.
I expect to be called ball coach. This isn't North Dakota. This is New York.
This is Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg.
The best threesome I've ever heard.
On ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
I don't know if you guys felt it today. I did.
Felt it?
Yeah. When you walked out of the house, I know it's January 7th, and I know it's only 50 degrees, but it kind of felt like, ooh, something may be on the horizon in the next 6 weeks.
No, come
Oh
on.
no!
Are you out of your mind?
I just felt,
it's
listen,
no,
it
it's
felt
it,
good.
no. I
I'm
did
sorry.
not feel that.
No.
I felt
Peter,
good.
did you feel that?
No, he's out of his gourd.
No,
Walked
I
the
felt
dog
it.
this morning, and it was still kind of like misty and a little bit like
No,
cloudy.
I get it. It was foggy when I got up this morning.
The backyard rink melted.
I
Not
understand,
great.
But I'm just saying, driving in the car, I got to crack the window open. It was just nice that it wasn't like 4 degrees outside.
Well, I
But
totally...
wait. Before we go any further, what are we doing here on YouTube? Are we? Is this like a joke? Are we making me smaller than everybody? Like I feel like I should be talking in like that little helium voice right now. Than what you guys are doing to me.
Wait, hold on. There's a lot going on.
I picked the right camera.
No, there's a lot.
I didn't pick the wide thing that makes you look tiny. You're doing this to me on purpose, Busick. I know it.
Also, is it just me, or is Don completely whited out today?
Well, I also Don, are you using your Christmas present?
Not at home because I can use the laptop. He gets mad. That's for a phone.
Peter, last time, Peter.
No,
just for the record.
Peter,
no more
last
gifts.
time.
Peter.
Last
Peter.
time.
Well, then I got to use my phone, and then that means then I get a bunch of text messages. Why aren't you answering my text messages? Because my phone's my camera.
You know, your iPad fits in it, too, just so you know.
Oh,
That's why I got it.
So
Well, that's why I got it, because it also fits the iPad.
I don't think so.
Oh, boy.
Didn't you try to do something nice?
You know, this is what you get.
It's for the road.
Just say, can't be bothered.
No.
He's
It's so sensitive. It's almost impossible. I don't know how anybody could marry this man.
I hear what you're saying. He's
I got
very
a couple
sensitive.
reasons why.
Well,
but
okay.
honestly, it's not that hard. It should be easy to put together.
It's not about it being
This
difficult.
picture.
This isn't awful, by the
I
way,
just-
visual.
I just went to YouTube. And Don looks like Old Man Winter. I mean, the color of your skin, Don, is like eggshell. I never
don't
see
know.
anything like it.
I don't know what to do.
And then Alan looks like a little man child.
They fixed it.
insane.
Thank you, Anthony.
We're on our way. Don't you worry,
It
folks.
looks so funny, though.
Oh, Alan's back. Alan's
Yeah,
upright.
no, we're
All right,
good
we
now.
got Alan in business.
It looks
We're
so
all the
funny,
same
though.
size now. Don is just still like someone poured white out on his camera.
I don't know
Honestly.
what to do.
Powder all over you, like somebody dumped talcum powder on you.
I don't know what to do.
Why is it like this?
What do you do?
You know what? We're going to get it right.
Let's not
You
peel
know
back
that.
the curtain here, okay?
Yeah.
Because it's not easy to set up a 3-shot when the 3-shot is not there when the show starts.
Well, that's
Oh.
well, real quick. That doesn't have anything to do with Don's whiteness, does it?
That has nothing to do with that. But if I had this shot, which I was trying to set up, ready, I can't fix Don's whiteness.
See, this is on the unfortunate station that Peter used to be on. This is Whitish Wednesday.
Yeah.
This
You see yourself now, Don? Are you seeing it?
Yes, this is the face of Whitish
No,
Wednesday.
this is Whitish Wednesday right here.
And it is Wednesday, so it's perfect.
When Don asks me, how does he look? As long as his face is on the screen, I
Yeah,
take
you
it as
say
a
good.
win.
You take
And
it-
I
See,
say, we're
so
good.
Whose fault's that?
Me.
I say, how do I look? He says, fine.
You
so
look
I don't
fine.
make any
Because
adjustments or whatever.
I don't know if we can fix this. So I say we're good.
Right.
Right.
Well, listen,
If I
I'm
don't
worried.
see Peter, I go, Peter, where are you? He goes, I got it, and then he pops up.
Well, I think-
That's something I can fix.
I think people
Right.
are here for the audio of it all. So this
hope
is
so.
what we're looking at. We'll try to fix it at some point, but I got to. It's as a Giants fan.
Go ahead.
This is probably the happiest that I've been since beating Minnesota in 22 in the playoffs. Like, honestly, where you feel like there's a future here. When you start reading all the reports, we're going to have Gary Myers on at 5, and Ian O'Connor was on with Kay earlier today. All roads point to John Harbaugh being the next head coach are the New York Giants. He wants it. Giants want it. And the only thing to stop it from happening, guys, is if for some reason Buffalo gets humiliated in Jacksonville and the Bills' job becomes available because they are done with McDermott. Philadelphia gets embarrassed in their game, and they decide to move on from Sirianni, which I don't think is impossible. I know people laugh at it. We kind of laughed about it when it was brought up yesterday. Don't rule that out. And if that job became available, certainly Harbaugh would choose those two places over the Giants. Can we agree on that?
Yeah. You want to go to the place you're going to win right away. Yeah.
They're places with quarterbacks. They're places that can win right away. And the Giants, even if you love Dart, you know that you're at least a couple of seasons away from competing at the level that Philadelphia and Buffalo can compete at. But right now, those do seem like Hail Marys. And you have to feel like, if you're a Giant fan, that there's a very good chance this is going to happen. And why wouldn't you be happy? As much as I like McCarthy, as much as other coaches can grow on me, John Harbaugh is the guy, and to know that they've got the inside track on it has to make you feel really good if you're a Giant fan. And as the hours pass by, it just feels like it's getting closer and closer to being a reality.
I think what we said yesterday, I believe a lot of times coaching searches are you're interviewing coaches, you're seeing if they're the guy. I think this is the opposite. I think the Giants, as I said yesterday, you guys agree or disagree? I think this, for Joe Schoen, he's trying to sell the Giants to, whether it's Stefanski today, or whether it's going to be Harbaugh at some point. Gary Myers was I know Ian O'Connor was also, they were thinking maybe by the weekend, if not sooner, maybe even by tomorrow. But that's what they're going to be doing, right?
Well, they've got to go through their due diligence, right?
I'm saying they're selling. This is rare. Usually, the interview is sort of, "Are you the guy for us? Tell us your plan. How would you help?" This is no. Here's what we've got here. Do you want to? Do you want this? They're selling themselves, I think, in this case. No?
I agree with you, but I don't think it's as deep as that.
All right.
If I'm John Harbaugh, all I need to know is, I hear John's sick. How sick is he? What's the plan going forward if, God forbid, he does not survive this battle? What's my relationship with Joe Schoen? Is he getting a contract extension? Am I going to be able to buy the groceries? Are we going to work in tandem? Am I going to answer to him? That could all be answered in a phone call. Like, I think he wants the job. I think he's attracted to the Giants. I think he's attracted to the city. He's attracted to Jackson Dart. All those things are... Why are you such a filth bag, honestly?
It's just the way you don't often hear it said that way.
What?
You just don't.
Because we're going over the pretense, is the job attractive?
Attractive, right. No, I hear you. And
so once we've established that, you take the sex off the table. But you can't do that because you're a filth bag.
But when you went all the way to Jackson Dart, when it went to Jackson Dart, Alan, that was the one when I couldn't take it anymore.
Well, you know what? It's just like the salt and pepper. For Peter, sex is always on the table.
That's right. It's always there, folks.
It's always on the table. But my overall point, if I may continue, is that I think he's sold on the job. It's just that he needs some questions answered. And that's what I would, as much as for me as a Giant fan, if I was a head coach, this is the job that I would want. But those are the questions I would have. Is like, who's my boss going forward? You know, how sick is John? What is the game plan if John were to not be able to make the decisions for the franchise? And all I would think that could be answered in a phone call. Once that's all cleared up, I think that he would be cool with the job. Again, I can't get into his brain, but all the reports seem to be he likes what he sees. The only thing he wouldn't like is, all right, what's the chain of command here? Which, I don't know. Do they know the answer to that? But you get that cleared up. And I'm sorry. I don't care how much I respect Joe Schoen if I'm John Mara. If Joe Schoen's going to stand in the way of John Harbaugh being my head coach, well, then Joe Schoen's gone. And I have to figure, since when they announced he was coming back, no contract extension was attached to it, this was the scenario that they were thinking about. I am not going to lose out on a great potential candidate because of Joe Schoen. So I can't imagine that be a stumbling block. Can you work with Joe Schoen? I'd love to work with Joe Schoen. Okay, we'll give him a contract extension. You know what? I think we could do better. All right, Joe, you're gone. Isn't it that simple if you're John Mara?
Now, Ian O'Connor was on with Kay. I think we do have the sound there, right?
Damn right, yes.
Because that was something that Kay did ask him about. Is like Joe Schoen, like his job is tenuous. If it's just what John Harbaugh wants, you give him whatever he wants. And if he wants his own people, you give him his own people, right? Like, but Ian kind of had an interesting take about, and now, again, Ian's done books. He's been in the Harbaugh house. He's got pretty good intimate knowledge of the thinking here.
Right.
So, I don't know, guys, if we have that cut, let's play that, because to me that lets you know what Joe Schoen's role will be in all this.
I think they think about it, but the New York Giants, they don't like ultimatums like that. They have a certain way of doing business, and they've done it that way where the GM, they don't allow a coach to do that to a general manager. And listen, I mean, Parcells wanted George Young gone because George Young initially wanted Parcells gone after his bad first year. He wanted to hire Howard Schnellenberger, if you recall that.
Yep.
I know we're going back 100 years. So the Giants don't do business that way. And I honestly, Michael, would be very surprised if Harbaugh did that. Now, if he does, they've got a real decision to make. Stefanski's a pretty good fallback candidate, but he's not John Harbaugh. And I just don't think it will come to that.
So he doesn't think it'll come to that.
Well, I don't think it'll be an ultimatum where I'm not taking this job unless Joe Schoen's fired. Mm-hmm. But it might be, please tell me that I'm going to be a part of the process and that I could veto draft picks and free agent signings that Joe wants to do. I want to work hand in hand with this guy, if not maybe actually be his boss.
Doesn't it work that way? Didn't Brian Daboll tell Joe Schoen, we couldn't get Cam Ward, get me this guy, and Joe Schoen got him?
Well, that's ultimately the job of a general manager, is to get the players the coach wants.
Right.
But there's also a pecking order, I guess, when there's a face-off to be won. The Giants organization always seemed to be in line with, there's the owner, there's the general manager, and then there's the head coach. Mm-hmm. They've never been as collaborative as you hear the Jets, where it's all hands on deck. They seem to have a pecking order back in the day. And demands aren't usually thrown around by the subservient, which usually was the coach, as the analogy he gave with Bill Parcells. Bill Parcells was not going to be telling George Young what to do. It was going to be the other way around. Things evolve. Things change. Bill Parcells didn't have the equity that John Harbaugh has when Bill was with the Giants, when he first came to the Giants. John Harbaugh is a veteran. He's in his early 60s. The Giants have their hat in their hand right now. They've come off 3 miserable, embarrassing seasons. They've got to make this work. Joe Schoen is not George Young. Okay? Can we all agree on that? So
yes.
I think that both could be true, where the Giants are going to be like, hey, you don't start making demands, but we can work around what you want. You are going to be a coach that's going to be allowed to buy the groceries. You're going to be a part of the process. And if Joe Schoen doesn't like it, well, then, Joe, then you'll honor the last year of your contract, and then you're free to go. But I don't think John wants guys walking in here, especially when they have no ties to the organization, and start making demands. But as Ian said, John Harbaugh doesn't look like that kind of a guy. But if he gets offers other places, if Atlanta gives him everything under the sun, does that job become more attractive to him?
Can I just throw one thing out here that I really hate about these situations?
What is that?
Whenever a situation comes up in which a desperate team needs a head coach and a great head coach becomes available, I just hate the conversation of you give them anything they want. They want to do this, you do it. Not because I don't understand it, but it just feels like it's so rarely what ends up then working out. That version of it so rarely works out, I feel like. It's always like their last retread, and it never quite gets – they throw everything at it, and nothing happens.
Well, like kind of in not a coaching situation, Peter, but kind of like the way the Jets treated Aaron Rodgers.
Exactly. That's the playing equivalent, but we see it with head coaches too. Oh, if Sean Payton's willing to go, you give him absolutely anything. And obviously right now it's working out for him there in year 2, but I've just seen these situations happen, guys, where they're desperate for that coach who showed he was a winner. But in fact, there's a reason maybe also, and I know I'm playing devil's advocate because yesterday I was very excited about Harbaugh, and I still am, But oftentimes there is a reason they've been let go from the place that they've been at for a very long time.
All right, Jimmy Johnson going to the Dolphins, right? That's just, you take a guy that has a resume and you hope it works out, right? Mike Vrabel going to the Patriots. That makes sense, right? But
that makes sense.
They fired a guy after 1 year because he became available, and they were like, we can't not have that guy. Even though,
but there's history, but there's such a real history there.
Well, because he played there, but it didn't work out in Tennessee, and he was good there, but there were issues. But there are certain situations, especially from a desperate franchise, where this is exactly what you do. And if you're the Giants, this is exactly what you do.
It is what you do. I just don't like it.
You could wait. Like, first of all, they got to go through the interview process. You've got to go through the Rooney Rule, regulations. So you're going to talk to a bunch of people. You're going to bring in people. So there isn't going to be, you can't immediately hire them and just end the process. You have to go through it.
Right.
And so that's why this isn't going to happen fast, but you should know pretty quickly. You should know, but you still got to do your process. Because if you're saying, well, what if Mike Tomlin becomes available if the Steelers lose, as we all kind of expect they probably will, I don't think you can wait. I don't think you can wait. I think if he says to you, I want the job, I want to coach the Giants. Another thing that Ian said was when he had talked to, I think it was Jim about, or maybe no, he was talking to John about Jim and potentially taking a Giants job. And he's like, do you think he'd be interested? He's like, it's the New York Football Giants. Like, of course. Like, as if, that's held at a different esteem, which is what we were wondering yesterday. So to me, you don't wait for a Mike Tomlin. If you can get him, you get him, and then you're done. And you can't regret it later.
I think from the Giants' perspective, as you said, they got to do their due diligence. They're going to Stefanski's coming in, McCarthy's coming in. According to reports from Morris's camp, he's got an interview lined up with the Giants, and that's going to check the Rooney Rule, because Kafka doesn't come under the Rooney Rule because he's already with the organization.
He's in-house, right?
So you got to go outside the house for a minority candidate. So they've got to do those interviews, and they should do those interviews.
Of course.
They should talk to those guys. So next week is when you're going to have at least the 4 interviews, right? Harbaugh, Stefanski, McCarthy, and Morris. Anybody else that you want to interview that we're not thinking of right now. And then I would think any waiting is going to come from the Harbaugh camp, because Harbaugh might want to wait and see. Let's see what happens in Buffalo. Let's see what happens in Philadelphia. Let's get through the first week of the playoffs. And that's going to happen anyway because all of these interviews are going to be done next week. So we already know if Philadelphia and Buffalo will be available, because both of them lose, then those guys will probably be fired on Monday or Tuesday, even before those interviews happen. So this does feel good. I mean, things could happen. Hey, maybe Tomlin shakes loose and the Giants pivot, because maybe the Giants would rather have Tomlin than Harbaugh.
What would you rather have?
Harbaugh.
Who would you rather have?
I think I'd rather have Harbaugh.
Why?
Because as much as I fought the Steeler fans in the last year or so of their complaints and watching the Steelers, it does look like their offense really struggles to function. And I think Dart's got a better chance to grow under Harbaugh than Tomlin. I think both are big boys in the room. I think both of them are tremendous professional coaches. But you can't completely ignore the fact that under Harbaugh, we saw him get the most out of Flacco. You got to give him something on Jackson, right? And under Tomlin, it's been Roethlisberger, and then what? As far as just trying to figure out
a quarterback, right?
Finding a quarterback that's going to be able to help them get to the promised land, and that hasn't happened. So it'd be close, but for me, it would be Harbaugh. But I don't know what the Giants are thinking, So, but it just, as I open the show with, guys, just feels like this is going to happen. And that's what gets me excited. And it's been a long time, 3 years in the making, for a Giant fan to be legitimately excited about his team.
To feel like you can get the best candidate available, and it's a true, like we always say, if you're going to fire a coach, who are you going to hire, right? Always, who's going to be the next guy? And you can't say, anyone's better. And an inexperienced guy, you don't know what you're getting. This is totally different. Like, this is the Knicks getting Pat Riley in the early 90s, right? Like, that's what this is. This is that kind of a move. Now, it's not parallel, because Pat Riley came in with championship rings, and Harbaugh has one, and it's 13 years ago. But I mean, as far as somebody of that cachet, Ian called it would be the best hire at the time. Like for the Giants have made good coaching hires, but we found out later they were good coaching hires. What he's saying is this would be the best hire they've ever made in the moment because of the stature of the coach in the game. And so that's why you should be excited. It should be exciting. And really, the fallback, think about this for a minute. Your fallback could end up being Kevin Stefanski, which that's not terrible, but of course it will feel like a bit of a loss, but you'd still be getting a good coach. So you've got pretty good options here already out of the gate.
Stefanski is Stefanski is the equivalent of you're recently single, and you found out that a girl who you really found attractive in high school is divorced. She looks great. She's got 3 kids. But she looks great. She's got a good life. She's lovely. You always thought she was really cool, and you ran into her at the bar, and you have a date. And then you get a random text, and it says, "Hey, I know I don't know you, but we have a good friend in common, John. My name is Dua Lipa. Do you want to go to dinner tonight?" That's what this is. That's John Harbaugh to Stefanski. Right. He is Dua Lipa.
But there's a couple other things I want to throw in about the Harbaugh situation. 1-800-919-3776. Tons of calls to get to. We got a list coming up at 4:30.
Like you dream about.
Gary Myers is going to be joining us at 5.
Who I do dream about.
We have ENN at 6. And we got a full frontal today. We got a full vehicle till 7 o'clock until basketball.
And we've got, I'm in the chat. And Don, some of you're being called God LaGreca.
Well, we got to figure this out.
God LaGreca I like.
It's very good. And it's, of course, God LaGreca calls Devil's games. That's great. Don is 5 steps away from heaven. And one suggestion is if Don should just put on a white sweater and just complete the look.
Yeah, I should complete the look.
I think yes. I think during the break, what I'd like you to do during the break, Don, is wipe off the lens on your computer thoroughly, ideally with some sort of like thing that's meant to do that. And then perhaps if there's a light of some sort that you could maybe put behind the computer, maybe that would help.
All right, we're going to work on that coming up.
God bless.
We'll get into what happened at UBS last night for the good and the bad of it all, because something did happen. There was an incident last night.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah, there was fun for some.
It was very fun.
Not for others, but we'll get into that. We'll get into the Knicks. They should end the losing streak tonight. If not, we'll have an open tomorrow. I can tell you that.
Oh, boy.
It is Don, it's Hahn, it's Rosenberg. We'll take you up until 7 o'clock here on ESPN New York.
That's the ease at which you get information. You want it, you get it. Like that. Ask your phone. Group chat. Smartphone. You're always connected and informed in real time. No waiting. So if you're diabetic and still using finger sticks to read your blood sugar, what are you waiting for? Knowing your blood sugar levels instantly is important for managing diabetes. Call US Med at 888-665-0696. To learn more about continuous glucose monitors, a real-time instant method to track your blood glucose, US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 1,000 private insurers. And the best part? Call 888-665-0696 and we'll give you a free insurance benefits check today. So call 888-665-0696 today. That's 888-665-0696 and manage your diabetes as easy as...
FanDuel is giving all customers a profit boost every college football playoff game day. That means more chances to level up your picks and turn big moments into even bigger wins. Ride with the favorite, take a shot at the underdog, or build a parlay. Then apply your profit boost and go for bigger winnings. FanDuel is the best place to get into all the football action all playoff long. And when you win, you get paid instantly. So visit FanDuel.com/local to get your college playoff profit boost today. FanDuel is giving all customers a profit boost every college football playoff game day. That means more chances to level up your picks and turn big moments into even bigger wins. Ride with the favorite, take a shot at the underdog, or build a parlay. Then apply your profit boost and go for bigger winnings. 21 and over and physically present New York. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, then you need a lawyer who knows New York's unique personal injury and workers' compensation laws. At the Parisman Firm, they have decades of experience handling all types of accident cases and a proven track record of delivering huge results. Their team has already recovered nearly $1 billion for injured New Yorkers. From construction to car accidents and slips and falls, they've got you covered. Call the Parisman Firm now at 718-WORKERS, where your case is their cause. Get the justice you deserve today.
New York Presbyterian treats more heart patients than any other hospital in New York. From common to complex conditions, our cardiologists and heart surgeons are pioneers in advanced heart care, leading the way in minimally invasive treatments for faster recovery times. Find a doctor at nyp.org/heart. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian. New York Presbyterian Hospital based on U.S. News and World Report 2025 to 2026 Cardiology, Heart, and Vascular Surgery Rankings.
And now let's take a look at the traffic with Brandy Scott.
Thanks a million, guys. Good afternoon. Just a bad ride on the Cross Bronx westbound, heading over to the outbound. George, first over by the Sheridan, a broken down car in the right lane. Add that to the late running roadwork on the lower deck. You're packed there from the Bruckner on through. Inbound George, some roadwork on the upper level, just about a 5 to 10 minute ride. Then you're hitting the brakes on the Cross Bronx eastbound, a crash blocking 2 lanes by the Sheridan, pretty much at a standstill from the Deegan. Outbound Lincoln already about 10 to 15. Outbound Hahn about 5 to 10. Belt westbound, heavy ride in Brooklyn, heading over to the Verrazano, a crash over by Bay Parkway. Solid delays go back to Flatbush Avenue. This report is sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you're not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Visit mad.org. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
Empower. Pete's back on the links with all new golf clubs and hopefully less swearing.
Dang, sliced it.
He worked with Empower to help him get good at money, so he can be a little bad.
Heads up!
Oof. Talent sold separately.
Guy said these were slice-proof.
At least he has money for lessons. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
Hey, fans! Welcome back to Fansville's Cheers and Tears. Oh. Okay, so like everybody deals with losing, right? To a rival on a last-second field goal. Whatever, it's fine. I'm totally fine. But I cope with losing with an ice-cold Dr. Pepper. Those 23 flavors are like so delicious. They totally wash away the pain of your college football team taking a big fat L. College football, it's a pepper thing.
Never got into the Dead. Does that make me a bad guy?
No, it doesn't, because I'm with you.
A bad guy?
I respect their, the longevity, I guess. But it never was something for me.
Just their longevity feels like a shot.
No. I was trying to think of other things.
No, I respect the vibe and how dedicated the fans are. Like, I think it's a cool thing. It's just I just don't dig the music. That's all.
Yep.
I have an update for you guys from Crazyland.
Go ahead.
Crazyland?
Yeah. A.K.A. Michael K.
Oh, boy.
Anthony, why am I no longer on video? Did I do something?
Yeah, something happened.
Oh, don't worry.
I'm Pipsqueak
I'll get
now.
there.
All right. Yeah. Good old Pipsqueak Pete wants to get on camera. You know what I mean?
I'm small again.
Tell me this isn't the most K-ster thing you've ever seen.
Go ahead.
I get a text from Kay saying, "You suck, bleep."
What?
Not the worst. No, not the worst thing. Don't imagine the worst, but still something I have to bleep out.
Okay.
You suck. I was so looking forward to seeing you in studio, and then you blow it off. Bleep, bleep, exclamation point. Now, let me, just a real quick, because we like to give everyone the real on what's going on here.
The real.
Don is traveling to Pittsburgh later. Allen has to be at MSG for the Knicks vehicle.
Right.
And recently when that happens, I go in studio anyway because I enjoy being with my friends Anthony and Jacob. And frankly, I have a 1-year-old and a wife here, and I like going to work. It's quite nice to leave the house in the afternoon. However, Natalie is going with Laura Stiles to the Nets game tonight as Laura is hosting like the Latin night, Noche de Latino or something, whatever it's called.
Okay.
And she's going to be – so Natalie is going to have like a lovely dinner at the Crown Club, and she's leaving early. Anyways, the point is, so last minute I hit up John and say, hey, do you mind if I help out Natalie and work from home today? It would be useful. And John, being the mensch that he is, says, yeah, the guys are gone. Handle your business. I got you. No person, no soul on earth ever said to me, Michael's going to be in on Wednesday. He's really looking forward to seeing you. I have no information, Don, that would tell me anything about this. And then as I continue to joke back and forth with him, and I'm saying, oh, LOL, let's get a meal sometime. No, I'm good. You obviously don't care for our friendship. Is he an absolute maniac?
No, it sounds like Allen a little bit, just very sensitive.
Or or maybe instead of being sensitive, maybe it's just that we share our feelings regardless. Like Kay and I are both very much like we wear it on our sleeves. We don't hold anything back. We don't hide it from you. If we got a problem, we got a problem. We're going to talk about it. We get through it.
Talk about it Tuesday, but today's Wednesday, Alan.
I understand.
But even you would admit this is a bizarre thing, though. How would I have known he was looking forward to seeing me?
Well, first of all, you know that he's busting chops. You know that's all he's doing. That's what
but as a wise woman, aka my wife, always said, there's truth in every joke.
Well,
and a part of it, he's kidding on the square. Like Don, you know what it is? It's his childish way of saying this. Here's would be the normal thing. Oh, hey man, I was looking forward to seeing you today. I'm bummed you decided to work at home. That would be a normal expression of feelings, except it would then be him being vulnerable, Don. By explaining he was just saddened he didn't get to see me.
We do have somebody that wants to chime in on this. Mike in the Bronx. You're on ESPN New York. What's up, Mike?
Let me address this to Don and Alan. All right, so I'm no longer on the afternoon show, and I know that makes me worthless to Peter, but I have kept a relationship with Don and Alan. Peter has axed me out of his life. I don't even exist.
Oh, okay.
Wow. I can't help him anymore. In fact, I think he's glad I'm gone.
Wow.
This is so insane. I don't believe a word of it. I do not believe you have more contact and relationship with Alan and Don than me. I think this is horse manure.
I absolutely do.
I had a long back and forth over the weekend with Michael.
Oh.
Let me ask you this. I'm not going to give you any details. Did you know that Michael had a little bit of a personal issue family-wise that could have affected travel? Did you know that? No, you don't know that because you don't stay in contact with the man.
So now you're taking. He doesn't care, Don.
So Don, complete hack that he is now just taking Michael's side now that Michael's on the phone.
No, because now it's turned to I was completely on your side for what happened today, but now that Michael's telling me that you haven't stayed in touch with him over the last year, makes me sick.
And you believe it, and you believe it.
Well, he's never
and
lied
you
to me
believe
before.
that. Why can't you just say that you were disappointed?
Alan and I were conversing today, back and forth. We stay in touch.
Yeah.
And you and I don't converse? We don't have any chats back and forth?
No.
This is a lie. It's not. I could pull up listen, a lot of the things we talk about we probably wouldn't share on the air, but I guarantee you if I look at my phone, there's a recent conversation.
Yeah, but
let me put it this way, Don and Peter, Don and Alan. You ready for this?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have had more interaction with Ebro than Peter Rosenberg in the last month.
This is. I don't believe you. We have texted on
Ebro.
1, 2, 3, 4. We have talked on 5 different days since December started.
But
that's not bad. 5 different days we communicated since December. Alan, that seems like a normal amount to talk to a friend.
Spiranak screenshots don't count. He wants actual personal interaction.
So why didn't he tell me? Why didn't he say, hey, I'm going to see you on Wednesday. I'm looking forward to it.
You know why I didn't tell you? I'll tell you why. Because it's a test.
It sounds like a test that he failed.
This is insane.
Yeah, miserably.
And then I say, let's get dinner sometime. And what does he say? No, I'm good.
Well, because you obviously.
Well, that's from the Dunham Dictionary. I love that comeback.
What if I, because I know you're a big schnurr and very cheap, what if I were to pay for dinner?
I'm good.
Wow.
Well, this hurts. Michael, this is very hurtful.
I'm so serious about this, guys, that the last thing I wrote to him, #sad, tell Natalie I said goodbye.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a bit much. Yeah, usually you're in on Tuesdays, though. So I thought I was going to see you yesterday.
Oh.
Because I haven't seen you in a while, so I do miss you. Everything
But
okay?
you know what? Because because of a personal issue going on, I had to change the day. But Peter doesn't know because he doesn't give a...
No. Shut your mouth.
I didn't know. You didn't share with me there was a personal issue.
Well, because you're not having any interaction.
Yes. Right.
You know what? When you're wrong, you're wrong. I feel badly. I don't like how I've carried myself, and I hope that you don't decide, in fact, to end this friendship. But I can see that I've hurt you greatly, and I'm apologizing for it. I'm very sorry.
Hey, Michael, I'll be in Friday. Will you?
You know what? If I know you're in on Friday, I might actually come in.
How about that?
I might come in early.
I really enjoy your company.
Now I'm coming in early, just to hang out.
See that?
Well, I hope you had a tremendous holiday, Michael.
The hotel was awful, but other than that, it was good.
I heard this story.
I'm Sully.
I'm sorry to hear about that. And a great show today, too. Ian was a great get. It's an exciting time to be a Giant fan right now. I really believe this is going to happen.
I thought you'd be happy with this.
But you agree, it just feels like this is going to happen.
Well, I'll tell you what, the pressure's on the Giants now. So I said this on the show that when it happened, I said, wow, it's like a gift from the gods to the Giants. They don't have to go with a young coordinator or something like that. But it's also the biggest curse. If they can't make this happen, Giant fans are going to think they failed.
Mm-hmm. Think about actually if they land on Stefanski as like the fallback, it'll be unfair to him because with like in context he would have been the best candidate available, but because of Harbaugh and who knows if even Tomlin becomes available, like he suddenly becomes like, oh, he's an afterthought now, and he's almost like we failed, so we ended up with this guy who only happens to be a two-time coach of the year, who somehow found a way to survive in Cleveland.
A fun thing for you guys to look at. If you compare Harbaugh and Mike McCarthy, like nobody's even considering Mike McCarthy. No Giant fan wants Mike McCarthy.
Well, I do. I would.
Their resumes are incredibly similar.
Mm-hmm.
Incredibly. Mike McCarthy's 11-11 in the playoffs. Harbaugh's 13-11. He's won like 2 or 3 fewer games in his career. He's won 1 Super Bowl. Harbaugh's won 1. But nobody considers McCarthy a guy you have to have. Harbaugh is.
You know, it's a great point. And the one thing that I would add is that McCarthy already has experience coaching in a crucible-type place in Dallas where Harbaugh really, you think about it, he was handed a baton of a thing that was already set up, and he was good enough to not screw it up. But he had unbelievable infrastructure around him with a great owner, a great front office. And so everything was ready-made for him. What McCarthy had to live through in Dallas and still win 12 games a year for 3 years, that's a little different.
The only thing I disagree with, Michael, is that I've been on McCarthy, and what I teased going into break was a little tidbit about this, that I think that the natural pivot, if for some reason they lose out on Harbaugh, that the Bills fire McDermott or the Eagles fire Sirianni and he decides to go there, I think McCarthy is the perfect pivot for what you just said. They're pretty much identical. And the thing that I like about McCarthy is I don't mind that he didn't win in Dallas. Nobody wins in Dallas. Dak Prescott hasn't won there. Tony Romo didn't win there. Nobody's won there since Jimmy Johnson. You know, Baltimore has always been a very stable franchise.
Right.
But for him to be able to not win in Dallas, to me, is more of a reflection on what's been happening in Dallas over the last 30 years, more than a poor reflection on him. And I think if they do lose out on Harbaugh, I do think Giant fans will be disappointed, but less so if they pivot to McCarthy than Stefanski or somebody else.
So you're not high on Stefanski?
I'm not, no.
I am. I'm the one that's I'm
Alan was very excited.
Really good hire. Really good hire.
He's young. He's won 11 games twice in Cleveland, a playoff game, which they never do. And if you look at the last couple of years, I mean, they saddled him with DeAndre.
Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson, yeah.
Yeah, Deshaun Watson. I mean, that was a dumpster fire from the beginning, and then the Shedeur Sanders situation, not good.
No, listen.
So Michael, in the group chat, Jay said it'd be funny if Mike in the Bronx got pulled over during his call into the show.
Well, that wouldn't be nice at all.
It would be funny. I better hang up. So bye, Don, and bye, Alan.
Bye.
Wow.
Happy
New Year,
what? Michael.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you.
Happy New Year.
And I got a tweet from one of our great loyal listeners who made a great point about Michael, which said, let me quote him directly. In Peter's defense, in this K conversation, Peter just lost a job. His life has been a bit chaotic. If Kay was a good friend, shouldn't he be the one reaching out to Peter at this time?
You know what? You should have read that while Michael was on. I'd like to hear the response.
It would have been another lie.
Well, because now we know why he was in touch with Ebro. So his first instinct was to reach out to Ebro and not you.
Well, I saw Michael that day. So I did see him once that day. The day of our event. But he could still, after something like that, you think someone might check in once.
Like a follow-up call.
A little bit of a
hey, how you
check-in.
doing?
Yeah, how's the back of your belly? You know what I mean? For a sleigh ride.
Yeah.
That's the day you ask about the belly, for sure. Especially the back of the belly. All right, so it was nice to hear from Mike in the Bronx. Now we want to hear from you. 1-800-919-3776. And Michael brings up a very good point. Would McCarthy be the natural pivot, or are you like Alan that, all right, I'm cool with Stefanski? Hopefully we don't have to get to that point, but with the Giants, you never know. Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg take you up until 7 o'clock here on ESPN New York.
Listen up, football fans. You won't want to miss this.
Right now, new Bet365 customers bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. So you could turn that $200 into something bigger when you bet on money line, spread, totals, player props.
$200 in bonus bets when new customers bet $5. I know where I'm going to bet from now on. Download the app today and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in New Jersey. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
If you've been injured on a construction site, then you need a lawyer who knows New York's unique labor laws. At the Parisman Firm, they have decades of experience handling construction accident cases and a proven track record of delivering huge results. Their team has already recovered nearly $1 billion for hardworking New Yorkers. From scaffold accidents to slip and falls and equipment failures, they've got your back. Call the Parisman Firm now at 718-WORKERS. That's right, 718-WORKERS, because your case is their cause. Get the justice you deserve today.
Hey, New York and New Jersey, Boost Mobile has an unlimited talk, text, and data plan that's only $25 a month forever, meaning you'll only ever pay $25 a month for the rest of your life. Who wouldn't want unlimited wireless when it only costs $25 a month forever? If you don't, you must be one of those people who enjoy overpaying for their phone plan. $25 a month forever is truly as good as it gets, so go online and switch now at boostmobile.com. After 30 gigabytes, customers may experience slower speeds. Customers will pay $25 a month as long as they remain active on the Boost Mobile Unlimited plan.
New York Presbyterian treats more heart patients than any other hospital in New York. From common to complex conditions, our cardiologists and heart surgeons are pioneers in advanced heart care, leading the way in minimally invasive treatments for faster recovery times. Find a doctor at nyp.org/heart. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian. New York Presbyterian Hospital based on U.S. News and World Report 2025 to 2026 Cardiology, Heart, and Vascular Surgery Rankings.
What if your instincts could pay off? With Robinhood Prediction Markets, you could put your sports IQ to work on the games you know best. It's not you against the house. It's you participating in a live market. Buy or sell your predictions all game long. Trade every play with Robinhood. Visit Robinhood.com/predict. That's Robinhood.com/predict. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
This college football moment is brought to you by ServPro.
College football teams have moments they recovered from and made it like it never even happened. Like on September 24, 2016, when Tulsa found themselves down 31-0 to Fresno State. With 10 minutes left in the second quarter, Tulsa fought back to tie the game at 41. And then won 48-41 in double overtime.
ServPro, like it never even happened.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ETHOS.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text AREA to 42424 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text AREA to 42424. That's AREA to 42424.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
In the city that never sleeps and never stops talking sports, ESPN New York is always on. Now you can live and breathe everything New York sports wherever you are. On your radio dial, on the ESPN New York app, and streaming live on YouTube. However you watch or listen, ESPN New York is always on for you. Hear us, stream us, watch us. This is ESPN New York.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting ESPNNewYorkContests.com.
That's ESPNNewYorkContests.com.
All right, let's hear from you. 1-800-919-3776. Level of excitement that Harbaugh might be the next head coach of the New York Giants and what the pivot would be if it doesn't happen. You got to be patient, though, people. As Alan said, this is not going to happen overnight. I know there's rumblings could happen this weekend. I really don't think it's going to happen until earliest, guys, next Friday. What do you think?
Usually, yeah, like, here's the thing. What jobs, because as we've seen the reporting, more calls have come to his agent than there are jobs open, right? So if there are, let's say, 2 or 3 teams that have called to inquire that might even say, hey, we don't know what our situation is going to be yet. If you're interested, don't agree to anything. We want to talk to you. What teams would be the ones that he would wait for that could be a threat to the Giants? If you think they are the leader in the clubhouse because of who they are, their status, they do have a quarterback, it is New York, right? Then what other team would make him hit the pause button because, you know what, I might want to talk to that place?
Well, obviously Buffalo and Philadelphia. But it may not be a playoff.
Let's stop with Philadelphia, can we?
I don't know if we should.
Really? Come on, people. I'm sorry.
He almost
won the Super Bowl
lost his job.
last year, guys.
He almost lost his job a couple of years ago. All right?
Okay.
There's a lot of dysfunction there. Remember, that was a month ago. They had a team meeting that didn't include their quarterback. Now, they're so immensely talented, they still find ways to win games. But there's a lot of dysfunction there. I'm with you, Peter. I don't think it's going to happen. But you lose me on saying forget about it. You get embarrassed 50-0 this week. I mean, I doubt that's ever going to happen. And
that's what I'm saying.
Players are screaming at each other. I'm just saying that there is a scenario it could happen.
But that scenario exists for practically everyone there if you get completely embarrassed in the first round. I mean, maybe not McVay or Shanahan, but I just think it's so incredibly unlikely. And I do think, not for today because it's not the main story, but I think at some point there's more of a conversation about what's up with Jalen Hurts and his relationship with other players. To me, then it's about the coach's dysfunction. There's no chance he's going. I don't think Sirianni's going anywhere.
I think you're both right. And I think why Don is right is because the one thing we know about not just the Eagles but also Howie Roseman is he doesn't wait when it's time to do something, right? Like when it's starting to go wrong or a player is starting to get older, he very rarely he'll always find that the next guy. Very good at that.
Right.
And so I don't think this, if Sirianni is slipping, if there's an issue there, whatever is going on there. But I'm also agreeing with Peter. He's been very successful. They know him. He's got his they keep changing his coordinators because, for good reason. They are popular. So you can make a case either way. It wouldn't shock me, I guess, either way. How about that? But you're both right in the cases you're making.
But I'm just answering your question. Those would, if that even
you said Philadelphia and where?
Buffalo? Buffalo. And then the other one that I think
Buffalo's real.
Yeah, the first thing that popped in my mind when I saw that there were more calls than jobs open was Tampa. It feels like we're good with Bowles, but if Harbaugh would give us the time of day, we'd let Bowles go. Now, would Tampa be more attractive than the Giants? Weather's much nicer. Good team, winnable division. You're going to be in a position where you're going to be a chance to win your division next year. Good quarterback in Baker Mayfield, healthy. I'd still say the Giants would have the inside track over Tampa, but I can't get into Harbaugh's brain. But those would be the three places that I guess could be a challenge. Tampa, we could find out immediately because they're not in the playoffs. Philadelphia and Buffalo are both going to play this weekend. That's why I say the earliest it could happen is next Friday. We got playoff games on Monday, Tuesday. We may get an announcement about Tomlin because the Steelers are playing on Monday. So then by the time you get to Wednesday, interviews start happening. You're probably going to get interviews next week with the Giants. And by Friday, that seems to be where the news cycle of announcements are.
Yep.
Then you have the presser on Monday where there will be no playoff games because then you're after divisional weekend.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And I'm not predicting it'll be Friday. I'm saying that's the earliest I think we're going to get. It's only Wednesday, so we're probably still 9 days away from any kind of an announcement.
Yeah. Yeah.
So be patient.
I think that's about the right timeline.
But this will definitely be worth the wait.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the phones. 1-800-919-3776. Always a pleasure to talk to Griffin in Connecticut. How are you, sir?
Hey, guys. First off, Happy New Year.
You too, man.
I got a problem with the playoff seeding and stuff. And I talked to my brother this weekend. The problem is I don't like that these bad teams that win their division because their division sucks get to host playoff games. I got a problem with Carolina 8-9 because they win their division because everybody else sucks in the division. You get to host a playoff game. I know maybe there's no way where you could change it or you could find a way to change it. Maybe you could do like the NBA format, the top 7. I'm just trying to find out a way where these home teams don't get to host playoff games when they're so bad. It's
and that
really
would be. We talked about this yesterday.
unfair.
On Talk About It Tuesday.
That's the only upsetting part.
It's the
we didn't have Griffin yesterday,
right? But honestly, the more I was thinking about it, the more it's like he just made the NBA comparison. The one thing that has happened in the NBA since that is that divisions mean nothing. They have them, but you never see those standings. You only see the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference because 1 through 8 or now 1 through 10 is all that matters. The NFL likes the tradition of the divisions and the rivalries and how important they are. We talk about the AFC North. We talk about the NFC West, the NFC East. We talk about these divisions because that's the history. They've had opportunities to vote on this. I think the Lions were the last team to push it. No one else jumped on board.
Yeah.
It's just something the owners are never going to change.
But
it's a real thing.
I hear you, Griffin. Thank you for the phone call. That's why it was my Talk About It Tuesday yesterday.
Yep.
You could have the Rams be the home team and then move forward from there, but they just don't want to do it. It is rare. It does happen on occasion. An under 500 team makes it. But I think the Rams will be okay. That's why they're a 10.5-point favorite, despite the fact that the game is in Carolina. It's Wednesday. It's 4 o'clock. You know what that means? Booger McFarland.
Yeah, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Booger's going to join us next, get his thoughts on the John Harbaugh of it all. Also, Kofi tweeted me that there is rumblings that Tampa is bringing Todd Bowles back. But is that because they heard from Harbaugh? No, I'm not. I'm good. So we can keep Todd Bowles. Who knows? Well, maybe that doesn't mean they weren't the team that reached out. It just means that they didn't like what they heard, and so they decided to keep Todd Bowles. So we'll talk to him. We've got a list coming up at 4:30. Ian at 6. Full frontal till 7 o'clock. Hahn and Rosenberg on ESPN New York.
The post-career day press conference, brought to you by Progressive.
Anthony, can you tell us what happened during career day?
I'm a biomedical researcher. The kids just weren't impressed.
How did you feel when your son called in the backup?
Embarrassed, and I knew it would be a fireman. It's always a fireman. It's cliche, but a crowd favorite. He had an axe and everything. I can't compete with that.
And will the fireman be helping your son with his science fair project?
Hope not. I'm literally a scientist.
Like it or not, sometimes you need a backup. That's why there's Progressive to protect your home and auto. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner.
Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
What if your instincts could pay off? With Robinhood Prediction Markets, you could put your knowledge to work on the events that matter to you. Prediction Markets isn't just sports. It's the Fed rate decision, your favorite award show, and so much more beyond the playing field. Trade events with Robinhood. Visit Robinhood.com/predict. That's Robinhood.com/predict. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
All the way over Barzal, score! New York Islanders hockey is back at UBS Arena, and it's time to bring the family and make some noise. With more afternoon games this season, the Islanders have special kids-themed games and activities for young fans. Play games pregame at the park and head inside for fun on the concourse and on the ice. Tickets for the 2025-26 season are on sale now. Get your tickets at NewYorkIslanders.com.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-606-8737. 800-606-8737. 800-606-8737.
880 ESPN, WHSQ, and WCBS-FM HD2, New York. A Good Karma Brands radio station.
Game Time is brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, because when it is game time, fellas,
it's Tully time.
That's right.
Turly time.
Knicks will try to right their ship against the Clippers. Get it? Right the ship against the Clippers. Clippers, ship. Get it back?
You really got to get that ship right.
Well, because a clipper is a boat, like a ship.
A clipper.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know that.
What do you think that you think they're named after Shears?
Legitimately no idea. Never thought about it. Never will think about it again. I may forget if it comes up again.
Well, they were in San Diego where there's lots of boats.
Right.
And they thought that'd be cute to call them the Clippers.
Yeah, and they never changed the name when they moved north to L.A.
Now, why do they call it an Alberta Clipper, though, Donnie? There's no water there.
There's water. No, you're right. There's lakes.
Not enough for a boat.
Who the hell knows?
Listen, these are things that I thought you'd know.
Anthony,
don't. Did you know a clipper was a boat?
Yes.
Yes, because of the Columbus Clippers.
There you go. Right, that's good.
I know,
Jacob, you had no idea, though, right?
No idea. Just to confirm, Todd Bowles texted the Tampa Bay Times saying that he is staying for a 5th year.
Okay. But that doesn't mean Tampa wasn't the team that called yesterday.
Well, he met yesterday with the Glazers, and everything seemed to be pointing in the direction that he will be staying. So if they called yesterday and then met with him and said, we're sticking with you.
Yeah, then maybe they called Harbaugh, and he's like, no.
I'm all set.
I'm all set. But who knows? Well, anyway, coverage immediately following us here for the Clippers and the Knicks at 7, and the Nets will play host to the Magic as Peter's significant other will be in the building. And
That's
that'll
right.
be in Brooklyn at 7:30.
She gets to adult tonight.
You throw out the record books, by the way, when the Nets and the Magic.
Yeah, what is the record when she's in attendance?
When Natalie and Ross is in the building?
Yeah.
Professional basketball teams in this market are 17, 12, and 1.
Okay,
Very rare tie.
Really, the rare NBA tie.
You don't see it every
do the original triple distilled, triple blended, and triple cast Irish whiskey to grab a Tullamore Dew or try the new Tullamore Dew Honey during today's action. Glasses up to enjoying Tullamore Dew.
Peter was giving you ATS. That's what he was giving you there. That wasn't straight up.
Yeah, that wasn't straight up. All right, well, anyway, Booger McFarland joins us at 4 o'clock every Wednesday. Hopefully you had a great New Year. How are you, sir?
What's going on, gentlemen? How we doing?
Good. We're a little excitement around the Giants for the first time in forever about the possibility of John Harbaugh being the next head coach of the Giants. Obviously, the Giants would be interested. Do you think John Harbaugh would want to go to New York? Do you think that'd be a good fit for him joining the New York Giants as their head coach?
I think fit is determined by the alignment, and by alignment, I would mean the ownership and GM. And so for that, I can't answer. Like, everybody's going to judge fit. Well, who's the quarterback? Who's this? Who's that? Like, fit and alignment are based on the people who actually you work with, and that is the ownership, and GM. I think if those three between ownership, GM, and head coach are aligned, then he fits all 32 teams. Like, the fit is always going to be based on that. And then once that group of that threesome, so to speak, is in alignment, then you can start building teams and hiring coaches and all that good stuff. But John Harbaugh coached with Baltimore for 18 years. I think his track record speaks for itself. But to answer your question and determine fit, then you need to know the relationship and the, I guess, future relationship of said head coach and ownership.
Now, Boogs, one thing that we know is that the Giants might want to bring him in, but does he want to go to the Giants? Are the Giants, of the 6, I guess, because the one he left is not going to be one where he'll consider. Of the 6 jobs open right now, would that be considered for him the most attractive place to go, or no?
Well, again, that's going to be determined by what he's looking for. I don't know what John's looking for, because he just left a situation where he had a franchise quarterback. He had an owner in Steve Bisciotti that gave him everything he wanted. He was there 18 years, so that further lets you know that they kind of let him do his job and didn't meddle in his business. So, like, what is he looking for? Are him and Joe Shane going to be able to have the type of relationship that Ozzie and Eric DeCosta he had? Is ownership going to let him do his job, or is ownership going to meddle in the football business every other day? Like, these are questions that I get it as we get on the radio and we start talking about who goes where. Like, these are high-level questions that, unfortunately, you can't know, and you can't, like, those questions can't be answered unless you're talking to GM, unless you're talking to ownership. On the surface, the Giants seem to be desirable. You have talent, you have a quarterback, you have pieces, you have an early first-round pick. Like, all those things, check, can be in a couple spots. So what's going to distinguish New York from other places? Like, that's something that you have to figure out, and you got to go to the highest levels of each team to figure out, because what you see at the press conference and what you see on the field is a reflection of the alignment between GM, head coach, and ownership.
What about your opinion, though? Just let's. You were saying I don't know what he's thinking, but what do you think when you see the teams that are looking for a coach, and you say I think he'd be a better fit here or there? What's your opinion?
I think John Harbaugh fits anywhere because he's a good coach. He's won. Honestly, guys, like if you look at it, and I know this is college football, but if you look at a good coach, they can go anywhere and get it done. Look at Kirk Cignetti in college football. The losingest program in the history of college football was Indiana. Kurt Cinetti shows up. They've been in the playoff 2 years, and they're going to have an opportunity to play for a national championship. What changed? The coach. So when you have a coach who's worth a darn, they can go into any situation, regardless of what it looks like, and they can make a difference. So, yeah, the Giants got pieces, but if you ask John Harbaugh, he'll tell you, I can go to Arizona and win. I can go elsewhere. Like, Sean Payton was a really good coach. Sean Payton went to a situation where they had Russell Wilson, and they cut Russell Wilson and put $86 million in dead cap, and they're the number one seed in the AFC. Good coaches make a difference, guys. I get it. We all want to think that our house is nice and shiny, but the coach ultimately in this sport, yeah, of course, you got to have a quarterback, blah, blah, blah. You got to have talent, blah, blah, blah. But the coach, if he's worth a grain of salt, can make a tremendous difference.
When you look at the playoff teams, which team do you say might make a change if they lose this weekend?
I don't, honestly, when you look at this, like this weekend, who's playing this weekend? We got Houston, Pittsburgh, Carolina, the Rams. We're talking Buffalo, Jacksonville, yeah. New England, Los Angeles, Philadelphia, 49. I can't really see any of them making a difference, guys. Like, as far as making a change.
Not Buffalo?
No.
No, really?
No, I mean, we are such in the business of firing people. Like, it's amazing. Why would you fire Sean McDermott?
Well, I hear you, and I'm trying to be sensitive to, people's jobs, but Buffalo's been banging on the door.
Let's not be sensitive. Let's be factual, and let's share your opinion. Right. Why would you fire Sean McDermott?
Because they've been banging on the door with one of the best quarterbacks in football, and they haven't gotten to the promised land. And now you've got a year where there isn't Kansas City standing in the way. There isn't that one big, great team that's standing in the way. And if you lose by 3 touchdowns in Jacksonville, as good as the Jaguars are, you don't think it'd be a fair conversation to say, I don't think Sean McDermott's the guy to lead us to the promised land?
No, because it's a flawed team. Like, this is possibly the worst team that Josh Allen has had. Yeah, I think Josh is the best quarterback in football. James Cook is leading the league in rushing, but the defense is not any good. I think they give up the most yards on the ground in the National Football League. And I think if you're Brandon Beane is going to be honest and tell you this defense isn't great. From a weapon standpoint, they don't have a star receiver. Josh Allen is trying to carry a band of misfit toys across the finish line. So if you're Sean McDermott let's just go by your theory, you lose by 21. Yes, that would be extremely disappointing. But oftentimes, guys, the grass ain't green on the other side now. Sean McDermott has won a lot. He's put this team in a position. This is not like this team is super loaded. This is arguably the worst team Buffalo's had in the last 5 years.
And that's more of an indictment on Beane, I would say, right, going forward? Because this would be
there you go.
Yeah, because the roster isn't good enough, and that's been the argument every year. It's like, the roster has to get better or the line has to get – whatever it is, they never can seem to get that roster to a point where you feel like this is a bona fide championship contender. So are you, first and foremost, are you in agreement that the field is as open as it's ever been in years when it comes to who can win the Super Bowl?
100%. It's as wide open. It's going to come down to whichever team shows up. Like, other than if I told you that any one of the 14 teams outside of Carolina won the Super Bowl, would you be surprised? Like,
no.
I want you to just think about it. Like, if I told you that the Houston Texans defense got hot and C.J. Stroud played like lights out, the Texans can win the Super Bowl. The Chargers can win. Like, any team, there is no dominant team in the National Football League. And so I think that, and rightfully so, I'm going to agree with you. We're going to judge Josh Allen and say, in the words of Tom Jackson, if not now, when? No Mahomes, no Burrow, no Lamar Jackson, and if not now, when? And if he doesn't get it done, I think he's under the most pressure of any quarterback that's left in the tournament. But to answer to your point, it wouldn't shock me if any team outside of Carolina won the Super Bowl.
Let me throw this at you, Booger. Are you excited about it? Alan and I have a bit of a disagreement because I love that it's wide open. I think there's so many fun matchups along the way. Alan is a little bit more of the ilk of missing the dominant greatness of a Kansas City in this playoffs. Where do you fall?
I love the wide openness of this tournament. Just look at college football. Like, we said the same thing about college football this year. It's as wide open as ever. And now we have a Final Four of Ole Miss, Miami, Indiana, and Oregon. Only one of those teams has ever won a title, and that was Ole Miss back in, I don't know, maybe Hahn was alive, but I wasn't. It's been a long time. There's intrigue by that. I get it. Hahn is from the basketball world where he's always seen dynasties. Like, it was the Bulls, the Lakers, the Celtics. There was the Warriors. Like, you've always had that giant, and I guess it's fun because there's only 5 people on the court and you want to see the star power, I guess. But in football this year, both college and pro, it's as wide open as we've ever had, and I think that's the intrigue. Like, if I told you that every road team won this weekend, would you be surprised? If I told you that the Chargers, the Bills, the Texans, who else? The Rams, the 49ers, and I'm missing one. If I told you every road team won this weekend, I wouldn't be surprised, guys.
I'd almost expect it.
And for me, that's good for football.
Yeah.
I guess what we get to, Booger, and I guess it's on us, is we'd like to see, the greatness, the dominance, to see the upsets. And as great as it is to be wide open, and it's great in real time, whoever does eventually win the Super Bowl will not be in the conversation as one of the great teams of all time, because it doesn't seem like there's a great team. As much as it's been fun and competitive, there hasn't been any real true greatness this year. And so I can understand Alan missing on that.
The great teams have to be developed and built. Remember when Alex Smith was the quarterback of the Chiefs, and then in the last game of the year, Mahomes came in and started, and then the next year they took off. Like that had to be developed, because 1 year turned to 2, it turned to 7, and you've looked at a decade of dominance. Like, let's allow some of these young teams with these young quarterbacks. Let's see what the Texans do. Let's see what Denver does. Let's see what New England does. Brady wasn't Brady his first couple years, but you looked up and it was a dynasty. And so let's see who the new dynasties are going to be, and maybe there won't be any. To me, that's what sports is all about, man. Like, sports is no fun when you knew that LeBron, Bosh, and D. Wade were going to be in the finals. Like, that wasn't fun. Like, you knew at the beginning of the season it was going to be the Miami Heat versus the Spurs, or the Heat versus the Warriors. Like, was that really any fun? Like, to me, it wasn't.
I mean, basketball was really good, though. It was really good basketball.
The basketball was good, but was it any fun knowing the outcome? Like, I don't like watching movies that I know the outcome.
I get it.
True.
I like comedies, though, so you always know how they're going.
Yeah, but I guess there's always a happy medium, Booger, and I'm a little older than you, so I remember the old NFC where, the Bears had to get through the Niners, and the Giants had to get through the Bears, and the Commanders, then Redskins, had to get through the Giants. It's like there was that gold standard that you tried to measure yourself up to, and then you beat them, and then you surpassed them, and then you had it for a little while. Not a long while, because I think the whole Cavalier Golden State thing was just too long. There wasn't anybody else that could challenge. If you have 10 very good teams and 4 or 5 great teams, that's what you need. But when you have the top being just very good and no great, I'd like to just see a happy medium. That's all. The parity makes it fun, and we're going to have a ball this weekend because of it. But I do think there is a happy medium somewhere between the dynasty era and the parity era.
So let me ask you this. Let's say the Eagles win the Super Bowl this year, because they are a team that is very capable of doing that. That would be back-to-back championships. How are you going to look at them then?
Yeah. You'd have to, but right now you're not feeling great about it, but I guess they could. Because right now, what is the one thing you want when everybody's kind of swimming in the same pool is experience, right? And with Kansas City out, there's no more experienced team than Philadelphia. Maybe the Rams. So those are the teams that I circle and say could take advantage of this. Because Stafford's been there and done that. Hurts has been there and done that.
Another reason to like Buffalo as well, with a quarterback going to the playoffs who's been here before.
Boog, you got a favorite? You got a favorite, Boog?
Jalen Hurts. Yeah. I think it's I think we're going to get a rematch of, I forget what Super Bowl it was, but I think we're going to get Seattle, New England. I think they played in Arizona when Malcolm Butler picked off Russell Wilson. I think we're going to get Seattle and New England again.
Wow.
I think Drake May wins the MVP. I think Myles Garrett wins the defensive MVP. I think Liam Cohen probably wins Coach of the Year. Offensive player of the year, James Cook, maybe. I can go on and on. But, I think that's how this thing goes.
Love it.
Wow. Yeah,
they thought I was crazy when I was talking about the Patriots and Drake May in August. It was hard for me to do that. It was hard for me to admit that.
You're very brave.
He is very brave.
Yeah, Patriots are a good team, man. And if you think about it, Mike Vrabel's worth one win, and if Drake May is the MVP, he should be worth another. And I know the Chargers, Jim Harbaugh, but to me that would be one of the most shocking wins if they're able to go into Foxborough, L.A., Justin Herbert. It's going to be,
they're
40 degrees. No? Yeah, everybody's beat up this time of year. Like, there's nobody that can say, man, I feel great. Like, if they tell you they feel great, they're lying. Like, it's like we've been playing football since July. Like, if something is hurting on everybody right now, it's just a matter of, can you show up and perform and do your job to the best of your ability? But make no mistake, everybody's hurting right now.
Yeah, that's why the buys are so big, right, Booger? As much as you hate, squelching your momentum, a week off has got to be a godsend for these teams with a bye.
Think about the bye. If you're Denver or the Seattle Seahawks, not only do you get the bye, you get the lowest remaining seed. So the NFL number one seed is so advantageous, it's unreal because it's not like in a normal bracket where you're going to play the winner out of this. No. The number one seed gets the lowest remaining seed. So let's say, for instance, Carolina wins against the Rams. Who's the seventh seed? No, Green Bay. Let's say Green Bay wins against Chicago. Then Green Bay has to go to Seattle. Like, the NFL playoffs are set up with an extreme advantage for the number one seed.
It's true.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. All right, well, guess we'll talk to you next week, man. Thanks. Have fun this weekend.
Looking forward to it.
All right, that's Booger McFarland. Joins us at 4 o'clock every Wednesday here.
Great spot.
On Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg. God, can you imagine, Peter, for Allen, or Jet fans in general, if it's Seattle, New England in the Super Bowl?
Sam Darnold versus and also, can you imagine if you're someone who just cares about interesting teams? Like I don't know, Don. I get no movement from Seattle, New England.
Oh, come on, Seattle's not interesting. That defense,
I like
really
watching
good.
Sam.
Great running game. That fan base is
I'm
off
so
the
in
charts.
on Sam being successful.
And Sam's story is such a great
Love
story.
Sam, but Don, you're with me, right?
Well, I think Sam, it's enough of a story.
I
get it. This is not the Legion of Boom. This isn't Marshawn Lynch. It's not even Sean Alexander, where you got laden with stars and Pete Carroll screaming on the sidelines. It's kind of a generic team, but Sam, for me, his story.
Now that would add a nice piece.
That to me is enough.
Yeah.
And listen, I've got no hatred for the Patriots. The Giants beat them twice in the Super Bowl. They're not a rivalry of mine.
Yeah, it's not
so
about
I
that,
think that's a
though.
great story too. I think that's sexy.
I have no interest in the story.
But,
I'd have them removed from the league if I could.
But from a Jet fan's perspective, you should hate the Patriots, and rightly so. They're a
cheer
division
for Sam.
rival. And I'm really curious how Jet fans would feel about Sam. On the one hand, he never wronged you. The Jets chose to move on, but still, you had him. You had him in your building, and he didn't blossom into a Super Bowl quarterback until after he left. That's got to irk,
You know the story we need to get, that like Ian O'Connor's next book on the Jets or something. Somebody's got to get Joe Douglas to say what that draft was all about. What was really behind the decision at number 2 to say we're done with Sam Darnold and we're going to take Zach Wilson. And that's going to be that's our future. And then not even have a veteran. Like, you could have kept Sam and drafted Zach and then just said, we'll see who emerges, but we know we've got a veteran.
But
right?
you had to give him the fifth-year option.
But
that was the turning. Well, so what?
I understand, but you for 1 year, and then what? Then you figure it out.
Well,
I'm telling you, look, we all were talking about it back then, and we all were like, you got to pick one or the other, but we weren't the ones doing the research on the draft. All I saw was the pro day throw of the season or the throw of the pro day season when Zach Wilson threw against air and just happened to throw a dime 70 yards. But when I met him and I said, wait a minute, where's the rest of you? Like, you're 5'8". Like, how are you this small and you're an NFL quarterback? and then the rest of it was history. Somebody's got to tell the true story about that decision to move on from Sam Darnold.
If you're looking for something salacious, it's that, Woody wanted him. He was friends with the family, and he wanted Zach Wilson.
I need to hear that story.
And I'm sure Joe Douglas was like, no, we want to stick with him. Well, explain to me why. We haven't won with him. We've had issues at being competitive with him. We have to give him a fifth-year option. So now not only do we going to keep him, we're going to pay him, or we could trade him. And remember, the big mistake was just as big was Carolina giving him the fifth-year option. And then Rule couldn't figure him out, couldn't crack the code on him. The one thing I will defend the Jets is that they weren't the only ones that screwed up. Carolina had him in the building too. Gave him a fifth-year option.
Yep.
Gave up on him. Mm-hmm. Minnesota had him in the building. How is it looking now?
Well, didn't Carolina also then draft a quarterback?
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, so everybody got off the Darnold bandwagon. The Jets did. Panthers did. Vikings did, and now the Seahawks is fourth team. And the Niners. Well, the Niners were good.
The Vikings also had a young quarterback, right? Like, it's unbelievable. But that he's been pushed out because, we have our next quarterback of the future. But I'm going back to that draft, right? And it's like Trevor Lawrence went number 1. And after that, it wasn't as if the Jets could have done better because Trey Lance was the 3rd pick in the draft, and that's the Niners moving up. Like, how them surviving that is the straight-up horseshoe up, that's just how they survived that.
Trey Lance is another classic example of how I don't understand football.
Well, that was the hype.
A guy who's highly touted, plays for 5 seconds, gets hurt, it's immediately over. Everyone's like, we know this is a bad idea.
And it's done, right.
It's just
Justin
done.
Fields,
I don't understand it.
Justin Fields was then the 4th quarterback taken. He was taken 11th, and we know that story. And then there's Mac Jones, who was taken 15th. Like, what could you have done? If you were the Jets and Trevor Lawrence was the obvious one, you didn't win the number 1 pick, you're looking at all these other quarterbacks, and you convince yourself, we've got to take one. Let's take Zach Wilson. All the quarterbacks after that are backups now. All of them are backups now.
I'll tell you what they could have done. They could have went over to FanDuel.
They could have done that.
Because they're giving customers a profit boost every college playoff game day. That means more chances to level up your picks and turn big moments into even bigger wins. Ride with the favorite, take a shot on the underdog, you build a parlay, it's all there for you. Apply your profit boost, and you go for bigger winnings. FanDuel's the best place to get into the football action all playoff long. And when you win, you'll get paid instantly. So visit. Here's what you do. FanDuel.com/local.
Smash
to get your college playoff profit boost today.
Creative.
That's FanDuel.com/local. 21 and over, physically present in New York. Option required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com for help with a gambling problem. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
I have a list.
Oh, boy. Thank you.
And this is all on my own. We did not have any dialogue about this at all. Usually those are the fun ones. We also take more of your phone calls at 1-800-919-3776. We've got ENN coming up at 6 o'clock, take up until 7. Then it's the Knicks and the Boats right here on ESPN New York.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now.
If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, then you need a lawyer who... If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, then you need a lawyer who knows New York's unique personal injury and workers' compensation laws. At the Parisman Firm, they have decades of experience handling all types of accident cases and a proven track record of delivering huge results. Their team has already recovered nearly $1 billion for injured New Yorkers. From construction to car accidents and slips and falls, they've got you covered. Call the Parisman Firm now at 718-WORKERS, where your case is their cause. Get the justice you deserve today.
Presented by Robinhood.
He crosses, spins, pulls up.
With Robinhood Prediction Markets, buy or sell your predictions all game long. No house odds, just you versus the market. Put your sports IQ to work. Trade every shot, block, steal, run, and moment that shifts the game. With Robinhood Prediction Markets, trade every play. Visit Robinhood.com/predict to start trading. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
Bet365 is paying out before the final whistle.
Check out Bet365's unrivaled early payout offer.
When you bet on a team to win and they take a 17-point lead, you get paid no matter the final score. Forget the final whistle and start counting that cash. Hold up. You get early payout on parlays, too.
Download the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in New Jersey. T&Cs apply.
Some people just know you can save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check the weather first, before wearing face paint to the game.
Bro, your Go Cats is dripping into your nachos.
Oh, and now paint is in my eyes.
Interception! Did you see that?
No!
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first and see what you could save. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Potential savings vary, including based on how you buy, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
You know the rush when you reach that goal, when something you've worked for pays off. That's success. At University of Maryland Global Campus, we believe you should never stop chasing it. That's why we offer a skills-based education that helps move your career forward. Learn how to apply emerging technologies like AI and data science. Build your leadership and critical thinking skills. Apply by February 11th and save with no application fee. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
And now it's time for traffic. Here's Brandy Scott.
Thanks so much, guys. Can't catch a break on the belts in Brooklyn. A new crash on the eastbound side over by Bay 8th. You're jammed there heading toward the Verrazano and backed up into Bay Ridge. Westbound crash moved out of the way over by Bay Parkway. Just some minor slowdowns from Coney Island Avenue. Grand Central eastbound in Queens. Watch out for an accident in the center lane by Jewel Avenue. Bumper to bumper from the LIE. Then it's a packed ride on the eastbound side. Some heavy slowdowns heading into Kew Garden and approaching the Clearview. Worst if it's the outbound George Cross Bronx westbound, slam from White Plains Road on through. Inbound George, just about 5 to 10 for the upper deck. Outbound Lincoln already about 10 to 15. Outbound Helen about a 5 to 10 minute ride. This report is sponsored by the New York City Department of Transportation. Speeding ruins lives. Drivers, watch out for pedestrians and cyclists and slow your turns to less than 5 miles an hour. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
The college football playoff isn't over. Not yet. That epic run, that wild dream, not over till the clock hits 0, till the stadium shakes, till the wild things are let loose, till the trophy is lifted and the confetti falls. This is the national championship. When it's over, you'll feel it. This is the wild world of college football. The CFP National Championship, Monday, January 19th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on ESPN and the ESPN app.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You just made the list, buddy.
This is The List with Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg.
All right, this is completely subjective, as are all lists, let's be honest. But it is Nicolas Cage's birthday today.
Oh.
How about that?
How about that?
Birthday to Nicholas Coppola, as he was credited in Fast Times at Ridgemont High, because he's a Coppola. Then he started making some really good movies, and he became a Cage. For some reason, out of nowhere, a Nicolas Cage movie came on. I was with my mom. Whole family was there, including Nancy. This is pre-kids. You know what she says? I hate Nicolas Cage.
Who said that?
My mom.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know. She didn't know. How do you hate Nicolas Cage?
Didn't know why?
But then I'm talking to you guys earlier, and you're like, because when it came to my attention from Anthony that it was his birthday, there's people, he's kind of Jägermeister. You either love him or hate him.
Yeah, I think
I
that's
didn't
fair.
realize that.
I think it's fair.
Yeah. Well, I love him. And
I love him.
I've got his top 5 movies.
Let's get him. Let's see if you're right.
Are we throwing things out there or no?
No, that's right. I love when you throw things out there.
Well, then you got to throw in Raising Arizona.
That's a good one.
You know what, Peter? You had a tough start to the day, right? You get attacked by the great Michael Kay.
Yeah, that was a tough way to start.
I've got it at number 1.
Yeah,
number 1?
I know what I'm doing.
Number 1?
Alan,
that's right, baby.
The fact that you sound surprised tells
and it's not that I'm surprised. I guess we're different people. We're different people.
Well,
we all are.
There's
because
there's people that love Raising Arizona, and then there's you.
No. I thoroughly enjoyed that movie, but Gone in 60 Seconds is one of the great movies.
Stop.
I love that.
That's a remake.
I love that movie. I don't care.
Candy.
It's not remade if he's in it. He's in it. It's his character.
Well, you know what?
It's
you
fantastic.
make your list. It's not even on my. It's not even on my honorable mentions.
You're out of your mind. It's already a bogus list. Bogus.
It's
list.
car porn. Car
bogus.
porn.
Yes, it is.
It's car porn.
And his personality's awesome in it. The whole story, it's great. I love it. That. Now, if you don't have National Treasure, then I'm hanging up.
Well, then hang up.
I'm out.
I got no name.
Peace.
That's a corny movie.
That's not. What are you talking?
It's corny.
History.
It's
engaging. You can watch it over and over. I know you're going to have the Rock
Da Vinci
on
Code
it.
of Jace. Peter, tell me I'm wrong.
Oh my God!
You're
being a movie snob. You're being a movie snob. That's what you're doing. Movie snob.
I don't recall people considering Gone in 60 Seconds a great film.
I love that movie.
What about National Treasure?
I don't recall.
It's a terrific movie. Terrific movie.
Can I guess some other things that might be on the list?
Please, as we've aggravated Alan to no end.
To no end.
I just watched it, so I'm just going to throw it out there. You may not like it. Maybe you do. Family Man.
I got it in my honorable mentions. I don't have it in my top 5. No.
But you did honorable mention it.
Yes, and Jacob just guessed Face Off. I didn't care.
Face
for that
Off's
movie
really
at all.
good. I like that.
I love Face Off. It's terrible, but it's good.
It's
bad
terribly good.
Yeah, it's good and terrible.
It's good and terrible.
It's terrible.
Con Air.
Con Air for sure.
Con Air, I have at 5. I love Con Air.
Con Air's really good.
I would even put Con Air in top 5 John Cusack movies. It is
a double.
It is really good. It's funny. It's quotable. I love Con Air. I've got it at number 5.
Okay.
So Peter's doing well. He's got 1 and 5. He's bookended. Raising Arizona and Con Air. I think we lost Alan.
No,
he's out.
It's just.
What are you saying?
What about The Rock?
The Rock's good.
I got The Rock at 4. Also,
oh, there we go. I'm hitting
very.
I threw those out. You
know,
didn't hear me.
I'm a big Sean Connery guy, and Nicolas Cage. You know what I like about this movie? Nicolas Cage is not playing his typical self. He's kind of nerdy. He's the scientist. He's not the action guy, really, in this. That you think. And I like the premise of the movie, too.
Yep.
And it features Alcatraz, which I think is cool. So I've got The Rock at 4.
It's kind of a... Yeah.
It's kind of what?
No, nothing. It's great. You're doing great.
Alan's...
You're doing great. What else we got? Leaving Las Vegas? What else?
I was going to say that, or Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Well, the thing with Fast Times...
There you go.
It's just a cameo. Listen, is it a great movie? Of course it is. But he's like friend 1 in it. It just can't. It's not a Nicolas Cage movie.
How old is Phoebe Cates now?
God, did I have a crush on Phoebe Cates? She's got to be 60 if she's a day.
So
God bless.
What?
62.
God bless.
God bless. Well,
God
we
bless.
haven't seen her in a while.
She
wasn't 62 when she came out of the pool. I'll tell you that.
No, sir. That's one of those. If they ever talked about like, hey, let's relive this scene. No,
if they really, honestly, because they always disrespect comedies at the Oscars, right?
Yeah,
most often, yeah.
If they were going to really get down and dirty and give an Oscar to a scene, that would have to at least get nominated.
Nomination?
Dives into the pool, slow motion exiting the pool.
And then walks in on him. Tremendous.
Well, listen. Judge Reinhold was caught in. I think we would have all done the same thing.
All right, listen. We're losing a little bit here.
And
That's a great line.
I would think, you know what? And he didn't say it, but I'll say it for him. He would have done it again.
Did you respond to Leaving Las Vegas, Don?
Leaving Las Vegas, I have at number 3.
Oh.
See, those are the 3 I named when you were mad at me, so I didn't get any credit for those.
Well, because you're the opposite. Like, Kay would be out on these lists, but then he wouldn't speak. When you're out on the list is when you get mad and you speak even more.
Well, then I start calling the obvious ones because it's an obvious list.
Is a classic for sure. So Leaving Las Vegas I have at 3. So one it's 2. It's not one of my favorites, but it's too significant to leave off the list. Then I got a really good honorable mention that I really had to fight to not put on the list because I think it's great.
You had to fight?
Yeah, fight with myself.
Okay.
What's the one we didn't get?
You're tapping out?
I'm tapping out.
All right, Moonstruck.
Oh God.
I wouldn't have remembered. I wouldn't. I don't.
The one that I got that at 2. So I got Raising Arizona 1, Moonstruck 2. I've got Leaving Las Vegas 3, The Rock 4, Con Air 5. The honorable mentions, the one that really I wanted to get in there was Wild at Heart. Wild at Heart is a freaky movie. You guys ever seen it?
No.
It's one of those David Lynch movies. It's kind of creepy,
but good.
Oh, very good, very good.
Look, I just want to say what's not being said. Alan hates your list. He has no use.
Hate it.
Disgusted.
I love it.
Hate it. So no City of Angels. You never saw that one?
I did see City of Angels.
It's
one
movie.
of Nancy's favorite movies. Very sad ending.
Yes.
But I could put that in the honorable mentions if you like. But who are you taking out?
That's a good one. That's a tearjerker and an emotional and well done.
Well, for people that don't know the premise of the movie, have you ever seen it, Peter?
I City of Angels?
Yeah.
I feel like I saw it when it came out, but I do not remember.
What is that, like 97?
If it were a day.
Something like that?
That sounds about right. That's about there.
Yeah, he's an angel that comes to heaven, falls in love with a human.
It's so good.
And
it's
then
great
decides
premise.
he's going to become a human to be with her, and the second he becomes a human, she dies.
Oh, my God.
In the most heinous way I could imagine.
This is a real spoiler, I'll say, for the film.
Yeah. No,
Well, listen, it's been out for 3 decades.
strong.
What do you want to do? Huh?
Yeah, if you haven't seen it by now, we're not spoiling anything. Like I still am not allowed to talk about Stranger Things and how that ended because I'm told it's
a week ago, Alan.
I know, but I have a lot to say about it. But I also have a lot to say about Moonstruck being at number 2. You're out of your mind, Adam.
Right.
Your
Okay.
mind.
It's a pretty significant movie, though.
I can't get through it. Boring. Done. Out.
Well, listen, you know who's going to now? You lost Michael now because that's an Uncle Danny vehicle.
I understand.
Well, listen, his job is not to please Uncle Danny. Okay?
Respectfully.
That was the beginning of the Danny Aiello run, wasn't it? Right up there, not the beginning, but it's right
at the
front.
Late 80s? Was Moonstruck late 80s?
Yeah.
I want to say 87.
Yeah. No, I never
got
it.
Prime Aiello vehicle.
87. So
never
there you go. There's the
Cher.
list. He's been in a ton of
understood
stuff.
Cher.
Never understood it. Didn't get it.
You didn't get it.
No.
There's
Never
one
did.
thing to not like it, but to just not get it.
I just no. I would. It's. On the CD, I'm skipping. I'm going to skip. I'm good. Next,
All right, listen,
next song.
These are very subjective.
Now, my father-in-law, he loves her, so I got to sit through it. But I don't. Not me.
Wow. So happy birthday, Nicolas Cage, and that is my list. And take it or leave it. I think Peter took it.
I'm gonna leave
it. He picked 4 of them for God's sakes, and Alan's going to leave it.
I'm good. I'm
he's
all set.
And he's completely gone up and in on Cher also.
He's got a couple of really cool cameos. I don't know if you guys watched the Grindhouse, the Quentin Tarantino.
Sure, I remember
Double Bill, and they had those. They had the trailers in between the movies. Werewolf women of the SS, and he's Fu Manchu. For as big an actor, it's 30 seconds. I don't know if you want to check it out at YouTube. Like how some of these actors are cool enough to agree to these cameos. It's pretty awesome.
Well,
now,
it's a Tarantino
way,
vehicle, you know.
Is he? So the next big thing, we talked about this before the show. So he's Madden, right?
He is going to play John Madden. Yes.
That's. Come on.
Looking at the trailer, it looks like it's a bit of a stretch, but
literally.
But we haven't seen a lot of the trailer, just like of him speaking or whatever. Listen, maybe he'll sell it. Maybe it'll work, right? It's not going to come out till next Thanksgiving, but the trailers don't seem to do it justice. It doesn't look good.
Well, Donald liked it better
have
than
you
Gone
seen
in
him
60
talking?
Seconds, though.
Are you talking about him talking or just like pictures?
I've only seen pictures. And
we just seen like video of him walking, and it doesn't look right. But when we get into scenes, it could work, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You got to wait. You just don't know.
Yeah, you don't know. And who's the actor that was Batman? He was in.
He was Batman.
Oh, why can't I think of it? Hold on.
It's Christian Bale.
Christian Bale plays Al Davis.
Wow.
And I think it works.
I could see him doing that.
But it's not going to come out till next Thanksgiving.
Well, it's a good time to put it out.
You can have some turducken when you watch it.
But you know what? Listen, Peter's been involved in movie making. It's been my dream to maybe to be on in a movie. It'd be really cool. I don't know how these actors do this, and then don't see their finished project for 2 years, and when it does come out, they would have already made another movie that they're going to wait another 2 years for.
Yeah,
that's right.
Imagine doing something, Peter, and not seeing the finished product for that long a period of time. Obviously, the movie's done. He's made the scene, and then they got to edit.
Well, and depending on your level, and depending on your level, if you're a smaller actor has maybe you have a decent role, you're not sure how much they're going to keep of your stuff. You might be waiting till the movie comes out, and then you find out, oh my God, I shot 7 things. They used 2.
So I told you I was reading the Charlie Sheen book, which I can't put down. It's amazing.
You need to
ran
pass
with
that
Nicolas
along.
Cage.
I'll read that when you're done.
He ran with Nicolas Cage in the late 80s, early 90s.
Oh, wow.
That must have been something. They were judging wet T-shirt contests.
Okay.
Of course
that sounds about right. And now we know why Alan was so interested in reading this book.
What? It sounds very interesting. Does it have that? In some books they have that middle part that's just all photos?
Yeah.
You're skipping to that.
Well, he's got 2 photo sections.
Oh, wow.
But none of that.
No.
Remember, this is the '80s. There wasn't a lot of pictures.
Yeah.
These guys are very discreet. He wouldn't have been able to get away with what he got away with in
Not
the
all
cell
of them
phone
are.
era. But very interesting book. Hopefully that passes judgment from Peter, who thinks that a lot of my book choices
this
are
is
clown
not.
shoes.
Listen, I admire your ability to just devour books. I just sometimes smirk at the book choices because I go, wow, because to me a book is a commitment. I'm not a good reader. So if I'm going to read, I have to really, really care.
Right, well,
so,
I can understand you questioning committing that time to Curtis Armstrong.
That's Booger to you and me.
Right. Yeah, but Charlie Sheen, I think, is worth it.
No, Chuck Sheen. Sheen is no question. That's a story.
We're talking about Tiger Blood, right?
That's right.
Haven't even
In
got
your
to that
veins.
point yet. Haven't even got to that point yet. All right, 1-800-919-3776. We've got ENN coming up at 6 o'clock. Your reaction to the list, your reaction to John Harbaugh. We got to get into what happened at UBS last night. Knicks, all of a sudden it's become a big game. You looked at the schedule and you're like, all right, Knicks Clippers yawn. But with the Knicks coming in on a 4-game losing streak and about to go out west, they don't want to make it 5.
Yep.
So we'll talk about all that coming up. Don Hahn Rosenberg until 7 o'clock here on ESPN New York.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Listen up, football fans. You won't want to miss this.
Right now, new Bet365 customers bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. So you could turn that $200 into something bigger when you bet on money line, spread, totals, player props.
$200 in bonus bets when new customers bet $5. I know where I'm going to bet from now on. Download the app today and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in New Jersey. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
Presented by Robinhood.
He crosses, spins, pulls up.
With Robinhood Prediction Markets, buy or sell your predictions all game long. No house odds, just you versus the market. Put your sports IQ to work. Trade every shot, block, steal, run, and moment that shifts the game. With Robinhood Prediction Markets, Trade every play. Visit Robinhood.com/predict to start trading. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
1 in every 6 men is likely to be diagnosed with prostate cancer in his lifetime. That's why New York Presbyterian wants to remind men over 50 to book a prostate cancer screening. A simple blood test is all it takes. It could save your life. Screenings are available across New York City and Westchester at locations near you. Schedule your annual prostate cancer screening today at nyp.org/cancer screening. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian.
Murray to the net. Score! The New York Islanders are back in action with a brand new theme night schedule you won't want to miss. Bring your friends out for the holidays and take home a custom holiday replica jersey or arrive early for special bobblehead giveaway nights for Matt Barzal and Bo Horvat. Barzal for Horvat, score! Explore the full theme night schedule at NewYorkIslanders.com.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
Avatar Fire and Ash has arrived.
I am the fire!
Get your 3D tickets now for the greatest chapter of the biggest saga in history.
Whatever happens, protect this family.
Critics rave it's by far the best Avatar movie.
If your father and I do not return, you go as far and as fast as you can.
Movies don't get any bigger than this. Avatar Fire and Ash, rated PG-13, now playing.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband Ryan died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ETHOS.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
You live for this. The wins, the losses, the slam dunks, and the buzzer beaters. The dream that this is your team's year. Hope, it's what keeps you coming back. So you represent with anticipation and with pride. Because when everything's on the line, your support means everything. That's why the NBA Store is here to support you. Check out the largest selection of official NBA gear at NBAstore.com. A Fanatics experience.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg till 7 o'clock. Gary Myers is going to join us at 5. How real is John Harbaugh? He's had his finger on the pulse of this from the very beginning. Does a great show on Saturdays here on 880 ESPN, so we'll talk to him coming up at 5 o'clock. Take some of your calls now at 1-800-919-3776. Nelson in the Bronx. You're on ESPN New York. Hi, Nelson.
Hey, guys. How are you?
Good, man.
Happy New Year.
You too, buddy.
Don, I got 2 movies for you. I got 8mm and Ghost Rider.
I didn't see Ghost Rider. 8mm's good. So, Jacob says Ghost Rider stinks, Nelson. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I think so, too.
All right. So.
But I thought 8mm was pretty good. Also, you got to see, like, a sinister side of James Gandolfini because he was in that movie.
Mm.
So you got to see, obviously we see James Gandolfini, in Sopranos, but I never saw that as him as an actor in the character that he played. It was kind of crazy.
Cool. I gotta check it out.
But guys, what I wanted to mention was that what you were talking about with Booger. I thought the beginning of the season, I thought both Harbaugh and McDermott will be on the hot seat. because those two guys faced the Chiefs in either the championship game or in the playoffs. So, and I thought that the seat got hotter ever since, Mahomes went down. I figured that, now the temperature probably went up higher than them. Then I'm not surprised if Jacksonville beats them, that McDermott could be out. And if I'm Harbaugh, I will probably wait to see if that ever opens up. And then what would the Giant fans think that maybe McDermott will come into the picture now to coach them?
Well, I wouldn't have any interest in McDermott over Mike McCarthy. I was surprised, guys, and Nelson, thank you for the phone call, that Booger was so taken aback by even suggesting Nick McDermott could be out. I understand that they're not as good a team as they were a few years ago, but the path couldn't be easier for them this year, even with all their flaws, because all the flaws that Booger mentioned about Buffalo exist in every other team that the Bills are going to face. Mm-hmm. Let's not make Jacksonville out to be this juggernaut, okay? They had a great season. They deserved to win the South, but they won the South.
True.
So I think if Buffalo loses, to me it's definitely on the table, guys, that McDermott could be out.
Listen, he's not – Booger was correct in saying we don't want to downplay the lack of talent and depth on the Bills. I think he's absolutely right. But you're also right, Don. I mean, let's not act like they just drew the Patriots in the first round. This is still Jacksonville. They are not the scariest team in the playoffs. They've been good, but this is a game that you have to win in a year in which the whole tournament is open for you.
Right. There's no shame in losing to Patrick Mahomes. A lot of teams, a lot of quarterbacks have lost to him. But what does Trevor Lawrence have, one playoff win in his career? I would think there's going to be a lot of Bills fans in Jacksonville coming up this weekend. So I'm not ruling out Jacksonville winning the game. I'm just saying that I do think that there could be accountability with the coach.
And also, we can't pretend as if he hasn't been – it's been on the table before.
Of course it has. Listen,
yeah.
Harbaugh being out, is that deserving? Their quarterback was hurt for half the year. That's not as good a defense as they've had in recent vintage. And yet still Harbaugh moves on because, hey, sometimes you wear it, you're welcome. You've been there a while, you had a few kicks at the can, and now we're going to find somebody else. Coaches are fired, guys, not always because they did a bad job or they're awful. It's just sometimes, all right, just run out of rope.
Right. I also think that he was mostly pointing to roster, and he was when I brought up Brandon Beane, he said that's it, right away.
Right.
So I think he was suggesting that McDermott's a good coach. The roster didn't get better. The roster's gotten worse, not better.
All right, but
and they have never really been able to find.
But is that every year? Because there have been years when they were loaded and still blew it.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think what was it? Was it 2 years ago? 2 years ago was their best roster, and then they lost. I mean, last year. Well, no, I'm sorry, not 2 years ago. It was the overtime back and forth where they didn't get a chance. They didn't get their last.
Right. And they changed the rule.
That was probably the best team that they had there, and they still couldn't overcome Mahomes.
John in Manhattan, you're on ESPN New York.
Hey, guys. Don, you made a great point to Boog, even though he didn't want to admit it. But we all remember Tony Dungy, fine head coach, couldn't get it done with the Bucs, and they brought in Gruden. We all know what happened with that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's got to be on the table, John, right? I mean, it doesn't mean that you're necessarily a bad coach. It's just your time ran out, man. How many more kicks at the can do you get?
If John Harbaugh's time could run out, Sean McDermott's time could run out.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think to me the pressure is on. I don't care what anybody says. Josh Allen, this is make or break it for McDermott. I mean, he's got to. I think that it's 50-50 if they get to the AFC Championship game that McDermott stays. I think they get to the divisional playoff and they lose there. I think it's sayonara for him because I have friends up there and the radio shows have been, we love the Bills, but we still haven't gotten to the big one. And you got Mahomes gone, and now you still can't get to it.
Well,
I think the public sentiment is going to be pushing. The Pagulas do listen to that. It will get to the point where they're going to have to make a change, and Harbaugh's available. Who knows?
Yeah, that for sure. And, John, speaking of radio, are you in the business? Because you have a hell of a voice.
Actually, I did some news in Connecticut. We all remember. In fact, I went to Connecticut School of Broadcasting in the 90s, and Bob Husler, which you probably remember from The Fan.
Sure.
He was one of the teachers that we had, and I actually had to create an update. But yeah, I've done a lot of annoying IVR work for telephony companies. And I did a couple of Comedy Central 1-800 numbers back in the 90s. You may have remembered this one. You're lonely. She's waiting. Call now.
Wow, John, this is awesome.
We need to utilize this.
Oh,
get
we need
his
some
number.
audio from you.
We need to utilize this.
We
need your number, dude.
Hey, feel free. I just got to hide this from my ex-wife.
Okay. John, thank you for the phone call. Yeah, I was probably watching Biodome at 2:00 in the morning on Comedy Central and running into one of those commercials for sure.
Good one.
They still exist. I couldn't believe it when I was in Buffalo. No, I was in Toronto, but I got a Buffalo station in Toronto, and we got in late, so it was like after midnight, and they had one of those, are you lonely? Call 1-800 whatever and talk to a live person. I'm like, that still exists? But it is still the 90s in Buffalo.
So what happened when you called, Don?
Yeah, I got the recording.
And how much was it?
It's $29.99, and I got a guy named Butch. No, I wasn't lonely anymore.
There you go. God bless.
Gary Myers is join us next. It's Don Hahn Rosenberg, ESPN New York.
Rich Eisen here. LinkedIn Jobs is stepping things up with their new AI assistant so you can feel confident you're finding top talent. Get this. Employees hired through LinkedIn are 30% more likely to stick around for at least a year compared to those hired through the leading competitor. Hire right the first time. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/Eisen, then promote it to use LinkedIn Jobs' new AI assistant, making it easier and faster to find top candidates. That's linkedin.com/Eisen to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. And promote it to use LinkedIn Jobs' new AI assistant, making it easier and faster to find top candidates. That's linkedin.com/Eisen to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Everyone needs to take care of their mental health, even running back Bijan Robinson.
When I'm on the field and feeling the pressure, I usually just take a deep breath. When I'm just breathing and seeing what's in front of me, everything just slows down. It just makes me feel great before I run the play.
Just like Bijan, we all need a strong mental game on and off the field. Make a game plan for your mental health at loveyourmindplaybook.org.
Love your mind.
Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Foundation, the Arthur M. Blank Family Foundation, and the Ad Council.
Now let's take a look at the traffic with Brandy Scott.
Thanks, guys. We're going to start off in Westchester County, not moving much on the Bronx River Parkway northbound. Right before the Cross County in Yonkers, it's a big accident. Only one lane is squeezing by. Heavy slowdowns there. Go back into the Bronx. Watch out for a crash on 287 westbound right before the thruway merge in Elmsford. Backed up there to 22 in White Plains. After that, looking pretty good at the Tappan Zee Bridge moving into Rockland County. Inbound George, just about 5 to 10 for the upper deck. Best of it's the outbound side. Southbound Deegan and Henry Hudson, Cross Bronx westbound, bumper to bumper from the Bronx River Parkway. Outbound Lincoln and Holland tunnels are only about 5 to 10 minutes each. This report is sponsored by the Positive Coaching Alliance. Questions about youth or high school sports? Well, the PCA can help. It's a national nonprofit developing better athletes and better people through youth and high school sports. More info at positivecoach.org. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
If you've been injured on a construction site, then you need a lawyer who knows New York's unique labor laws. At the Parisman Firm, they have decades of experience handling construction accident cases and a proven track record of delivering huge results. Their team has already recovered nearly $1 billion for hardworking New Yorkers. From scaffold accidents to slip and falls and equipment failures, they've got your back. Call the Parisman Firm now at 718-WORKERS. That's right, 718-WORKERS, because your case is their cause. Get the justice you deserve today.
Progressive knows there's so many great things about being a sports fan. Like scoring the company box seats. How great is that? Trick plays that actually work. Prevent defense when your team is winning by a lot. And even more preventative prevent defense as they're hanging on by a thread. And of course, saving money when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive. That's pretty great. Just like trick plays that actually work.
Yeah, but how often does that happen?
Complaining about sports. Not so great. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Hey, fans! Welcome back to Fansville's Cheers and Tears. Oh. Okay, so everybody deals with losing, right? To a rival on a last-second field goal. Whatever, it's fine. I'm totally fine. But I cope with losing with an ice-cold Dr. Pepper. Those 23 flavors are so delicious. They totally wash away the pain of your college football team taking a big fat L. College football. It's a pepper thing.
Hey, this is Jalen Brunson.
Jalen Brunson for three.
And this is your home for New York Knicks basketball. This is 880 ESPN.
WHSQ and WCBS FM HD2, New York.
5:02 in the big city. Don Hahn Rosenberg with you until 7. Then it's Knicks and the Clippers here on ESPN New York. He's one of my favorite people. He's Gary Myers. He's got a show called Saturday Huddle that is usually on Saturdays noon to 3. This Saturday will be on 4 to 7 after the St. John's game. Gary, Don Hahn and Rosenberg, how are you, sir?
Is that a standing ovation or just an ovation?
I think it started out sitting, and then they stood up.
Everybody stood right up.
The significance.
I mean, they've been after reading all of your tweets over the last 24 hours. That's a standing ovation.
Thanks. So I have
you
a
have been a busy
updates
man,
for you guys.
Oh, good.
Harbaugh is not going to be doing any interviews this week.
Okay.
It's likely going to start next week. His daughter's in college, and because they're not playing this weekend, she must be on her, the Christmas break still. Mm-hmm. And his plan right now is to take her back to school. And I thought he would be in New England on Sunday night, to support Jim when the Chargers play the Patriots. But as of right now, that's not part of the plan. So
I figured everything would
latest.
Okay, well, that's very interesting because there was some thought it could be as soon as this weekend. There was some thought maybe even tomorrow, but not diving into this right away, which makes sense.
Alan, unless something changes, which is always possible, there's nothing in their calendar with any team until sometime next week.
All right, that's interesting.
So, we'll see what happens. And I do want to clarify one thing, that I've been saying that 9 teams have contacted the Harbaugh camp.
Right.
6 who are looking for coaches, not including the Ravens, and then 3 others. What was told to me 15 minutes ago is that might be a little misleading, and I certainly didn't mean to be misleading, but some teams are calling, and those teams also have search firms who are calling. But when the search firms are calling, they're not identifying on whose behalf they're calling. They're not saying, I'm calling for the Giants or I'm calling for the Falcons. They're just calling to say, to feel out the Harbaugh people about what his plans are. So some teams might be double dipping there.
Okay.
I hope I explained that well.
No, you did, because so there could be a firm reaching out on behalf of a team that already reached out to him.
Right. But I can say this for sure, there are teams that have reached out that currently do not have an opening. I'm just not positive who they are. So it is more than 6, but I think it's less than 9.
So,
so that's still a lot.
No,
all right.
Because these types of coaches don't grow on trees. And when they do become available, even teams with coaches have to kind of take a look and say, can we upgrade? Can we be better? Especially some teams that are even playing in the playoffs that maybe have disappointing early exits. And that leads to my first question, Gary. I feel good about this. I think both sides want this to happen. What are some of the things that can stop it from happening for the Giants?
Well, I know that John does not have a relationship with Joe Shane. So I know him fairly well. And I have not spoken to him. I've tried to reach him in the last 2 days, but I haven't been able to do that. I just don't think he's the kind of guy that's going to come in and say, I want you to get rid of the general manager because I have my own guy. You have to remember the Giants made a clear decision when they hired George Young in 1979 that the general manager and the coach cannot be the same person. The coach cannot control the general manager, because that's what led to the Giants not making the playoffs from 1964 to '80 and they hired George in '79 is because there was no clear general manager. And so the Giants are really clear that there's got to be a clear, separation of powers. And I don't think John is the kind of guy that's going to come in and say, I need complete control of the personnel. I think he's a collaborator, and I know that Shane is a collaborator. I also know that Giant fans are like up in arms over how he kept his job. But I don't see that getting in the way. I think Jackson Dart is a huge attraction for any of these coaches. And listen, let's face it, it is still the Giants. I mean, despite the struggles of the last 15 years, they have won 8 championships over the years. They've been around for 100 years. And there's nothing like winning in New York. I know we're all prejudiced about where we live, but talk to Eli about what it's like to win in New York and what it's meant to his life. And I think that John is the kind of guy that would embrace coming here and trying to win here with this franchise.
But Gary, everyone,
I just don't see that. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Gary. I was going to say, everyone does throw in the what it's like to win in New York, and it is true. But what we've seen most of, basically across all sports in the last 15 years, is what it's like to lose in New York. And,
right.
And do you also think John has the appetite for that? Because I know Baltimore pretty well, and it's definitely a serious football market, but it is not quite the same. The Baltimore Sun is not exactly the same as what he'll deal with up here.
Of course. Yeah, I think he's like. I guess you're asking, does he have the stomach for it? And I think that he does. There's pressure in every city. And I worked in Dallas for 8 years. And I'm really telling you the God's honest truth here. There was more criticism and more pressure from the media in Dallas on the Cowboys than anything I've experienced since I've been, I grew up here, but I was gone for most of the 80s, but I've been back since 1989, and there's been a lot of ups and downs. The Jets have sucked all these years, but the criticism and the pressure was much worse in Dallas than it was here, and I'm telling you that from experience. I think what makes it hard here is the volume of the media and the back pages. But Alan, you worked for Newsday all those years. I always thought the bark of the back pages was much worse than anything that was under somebody's byline.
That was always the problem, right? Like you would have to answer to the headline writers when you're like, but did you read the story?
Right.
You're so right about that. The bark of the back pages was always part of the story. It's funny, Gary, you say that, not to go off on a tangent, but I've talked to other sports writers, other guys who have been in New York a long time, and we all kind of used to joke about the whole big, bad New York sports media thing when, look, when it's due, you're going to get it in this town. But a lot of it is mythical, and a lot of coaches who come in here, they find that out pretty quickly as long as they act accordingly. And then you would imagine that, of all people, John Harbaugh had a podium in New York. He certainly would know how to handle it. He wouldn't be overwhelmed by it and doing some things that we've seen some other coaches do when they first get here and think, I've got to be aggressive right back in your face, when we all know that's not how you do it.
No, he's very polished with the media. That one year they made the Super Bowl, he was very impressive. The year he went against his brother in the Super Bowl, Jim was very distant and moody and wasn't like he was uncooperative. He just wasn't expansive. Where John would be to ask these questions, and I've seen him do this even not at Super Bowls. He would say to somebody, thank you for your question, and then you go and answer the question. He's very cooperative. He's very quotable. I really like him a lot. I've never covered him obviously on a day-to-day basis, but I've gotten to know him over the years. And I think he's a really good guy. I think he's a really good coach. The key, of course, would be who his offensive coordinator would be. And the problem, and everybody's painting that there's a problem with Lamar between him and John. I heard the problem was with Lamar and Todd Monken, the offensive coordinator, and maybe John got defensive of his offensive coordinator, and that potentially, could have been a problem with Jackson. But the problem itself was not between Lamar and Harbaugh. And now, I'm reading, he lost the locker room. And I was watching Schefter today on Pat McAfee's show, and Adam was talking about how 3 players went in to John's office yesterday, and they were like crying in his arms that he got fired.
Right.
So it doesn't sound like to me like somebody who lost the locker room.
No, but just ran its course.
But he's also there for 18 years.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. That's what's going to happen. Talk to Gary Myers. You could catch his show, usually noon to 3 on Saturdays, but this week it's going to be on at 4 because of St. John's. All right, we've talked about it. What if the Bills lose? What if something goes sideways in Philadelphia? Is there another job that can open up that would become more attractive for John, and can that be a way the Giants lose a face-off?
Well, I mean, the thing about Philadelphia is, you remember that John was Andy Reid's special teams coach for a number of years, so he does know Jeff Lurie. But how do you fire a coach a year after winning the Super Bowl and getting back in the playoffs and having a home playoff game? I don't think that's Jeff Lurie's DNA to do something like that. I mean, I don't particularly care for Sirianni, but I can't see the guy getting fired 1 year after blowing out Kansas City in the Super Bowl. Buffalo, I mean, I think McDermott deserves to be fired because with a guy who's been one of the 2-3 best quarterbacks in the league since, he came in the league in 2018, and not to get to a Super Bowl and to lose some home playoff games, and the playoff game he lost in Kansas City when he had the lead with 13 seconds to go and didn't have his kicker dribble the kickoff to waste time, instead kicked it in the end zone. Kansas City ties it and then wins it over. I mean, that was a fireable offense right there. So I think that is possible, although I just haven't really heard anything strong in that area that, if McDermott loses in the first or second round, that he's gone. But I do think he deserves to be fired. Miami's another situation where they haven't hired a general manager yet. Troy Aikman, and another great conflict of interest story in the NFL, is helping them hire their general manager, and who knows what's going to happen with Mike McDaniel after that. I don't know.
No, it's just pretty incredible that there's so many opportunities to kind of spring up here for these coaches.
Yeah.
So it looks like it's going to happen, but you never say never. If it were to not happen, who's next? Is it McCarthy? Who would be the next in line if for some reason John Harbaugh were to slip through their fingers?
Yeah, I think the Giants have to hire a coach that has experience and they can walk in the room and command the room and have respect. So, I mean, McCarthy's record is really good. His first and last year in Dallas were bad. I think Dak, I know he got hurt in the last year. I'm trying to remember if the first year is the year that Dak broke his ankle against the Giants, if you remember that one.
Yeah.
But in between, he won 12 games in a row. I mean, 12 games, not in a row,
in the season,
12 games a season for 3 years in a row. Now, he didn't have playoff success. His record is very similar to Harbaugh's. But everybody's, like, really excited about Harbaugh, and they go, oh, McCarthy. It's not very creative.
Yeah, because they kill him in Dallas for not winning. Who's won in Dallas, right? Since Jimmy Johnson,
exactly.
Who's won in Dallas?
Yeah, I mean, their last Super Bowl just had their 30th birthday.
That's pretty incredible.
It is. And I was talking to Phil Simms today. He really likes Kevin Stefanski.
Mm-hmm.
He says
so does Allen.
So does Allen? Is that what you said?
I'm a big fan. Yeah.
Are you?
Oh, yeah.
Phil said that Stefanski draws up amazing offenses, that he's just one of the best at doing that. Here's my problem with Stefanski, is that the Giants have won 7 games the last 2 years. The Browns have won 8. Can the Giants sell to their fans that they're hiring a coach who just got fired by the most dysfunctional team in the league. I don't know Kevin Stefanski at all. I know he's two-time Coach of the Year. He got the Browns into the playoffs twice, which is an amazing accomplishment. But, they've been bad the last few years. And the last time the Giants hired a failed coach from the Cleveland Browns was Pat Shurmur.
Yeah, I don't want to revisit that.
Yeah, he was 9-23 with the Browns, and he was 9-23 with the Giants. So he's pretty consistent, not in a good way.
Good.
Is there, Gary, because this is always coming up and we'll see the results of the weekend, right? But is there a reason for the Giants to do any back channel stuff on Mike Tomlin? So if something does go down in Pittsburgh, they're ready for that too?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Because I never thought him just making the playoffs removes the pressure. And, the fans there really turned on him. They've chanted "Fire Tomlin." It's one of the last games of the season.
Haven't lost since.
Right. Well, they lost to the Browns in the.
Well, that's right, but still,
in the second
they're in the
to last game. If the kid hits the field goal on Sunday night, how much changes?
Right.
But I don't think that Tomlin just getting to a wild card game necessarily changes what's going to happen in Pittsburgh. I think he hasn't won a playoff game since 2016, and everybody says, Mike Tomlin never had a losing season. All right, it's terrific. But how many times was he 8-8 or 9-7 or now 9-8 or 10-7? It's not like they've been one of the dominant teams in the league, and then the last 10 years he hasn't won a playoff game. So I don't think that story has been written yet about Tomlin being back there next year. I don't think that's guaranteed. But I think there's a better chance of him going into television than taking another job right away.
Why do you say that?
He's still a relatively young guy.
No, why do you say that? Why would he do that? Like, because we were wondering. A lot of time when you've been there, we've seen coaches. You coach for such a long time, you just want to take a break, right? You've been doing it for so long.
Mm-hmm.
You take that year, you assess, think about things, and then maybe you'll dive back in. Bill Cowher never did that, right? Billick never did that, but we thought maybe they would.
Well, Billick wanted to. He just couldn't get another job.
Just couldn't get a job. Okay, fair. But why would Tomlin do that?
Well, I think Tomlin is 53. Harbaugh is 63.
Right.
I think John wants to continue coaching, and it's not like he can sit out 2 years and then try to get back in it at 65, because then people start saying, oh, he's 65 years old and he hasn't coached in 2 years. So I think there's more of an urgency for him to coach, and he's in tremendous demand, as we've seen the last 2 days. Tomlin, I think maybe he just feels he needs a break, but then can get back in it. But then once you're out and you're making a ton of money on TV and you don't have to worry about the winning and losing anymore, that's why Cowher never got big. If you remember, a year after after Cowher left the Steelers, he interviewed with the Browns, and he was going to interview with the Jets before they hired Rex. But Woody Johnson was on vacation someplace in Europe, and Cowher wanted a quick resolution, and Woody wouldn't come back from vacation. So Cowher said, "The hell with that," and he said, "I'm not coaching anymore," and he went back to CBS and has never interviewed since.
That is typical.
Are you
Jets
really
guy.
surprised about that?
Does that not? That's it right there. That's it in a nutshell.
There it is.
There's nothing more to say. That story right there is everything you need to know about why the Jets are where they are.
Now, Gary, I got to ask you before we let you go. You're
go ahead.
in touch with everything. Where does the organization stand with John Mara's health, and what is the plan? God forbid if he loses this fight, is it an issue within, the Giants of making decisions and moving forward because of John's health?
Donnie, it's obviously a very sensitive area, but it's a really good question. And I've been told that John was the biggest advocate for Joe Shane. and he's probably responsible more than anybody else there, probably even more than Steve Tisch, because John's around him every day, for Joe still having his job. I felt all along that the Giants would not have the stomach to change everything. Because, when you change the general manager, and Joe completely changed the scouting system, and I know people have talked about he's modernized and computerized the whole scouting department. The Giants are really far behind. I think John's health might have contributed. Now, I don't know this. I'm just trying to use a little common sense here.
Right.
I think John's health contributed somewhat to him not wanting to completely start over with a new general manager. At least in this case, Shane is leading the search for the coach. If they got rid of Shane also, then what happens? Then John's got to be more involved than maybe he's capable of at this point to find the general manager. Now, Chris Mara is very, very capable. And if his last name wasn't Mara, he would probably have been the general manager of this team a long time ago. Parcells swears by him. So I think that the fact that John is sick and he's in the battle of his life, and everybody's praying for him. He's a great guy. I've known him since the late 70s. I think that might have contributed to the Giants not want to blow it all up again. But I have heard this, and I heard this yesterday, that some candidates are a little concerned because they do know that John was the biggest proponent of Shane, that if they take the job and things go poorly and, God forbid, like you say, John loses this battle, are they then going to be working for a general manager who could be let go because his biggest advocate, is not there to support him?
Right.
Again, it's really hard to talk about this.
Of course it is.
But it's a legitimate. You asked a very legitimate question, Don, and I think that it's something that I would almost guarantee, during this process, that the Giants are going to have to address to these candidates, because they're going to be concerned. Okay, what is, again, hard to talk about, but what's the succession plan? What does the Mara family, have in mind? And listen, I'm praying they don't have to worry about this for 20 years. But we all are. But it's a realistic situation, and
well, couldn't they solve that end of it by just giving Shane an extension?
Yeah, but what does that really mean? I mean, John Harbaugh signed a 3-year extension in March.
That's true.
Yeah.
And and they just blew him out. The other thing to think about, because I'd like to change this part of the conversation.
Yeah.
I
get it.
If I'm just kind of guessing now, I'm surmising that Harbaugh signed for like 15 to 17 million a year, because that's kind of the going rate. And all these coaches have offsets in their deal. So just for argument's sake, if the Giants signed them for $7 million a year, the Ravens would have to make up the $10 million. So, I mean, the Giants aren't the kind of organization that would do that, but they could really get away with not paying John a lot of money over the next 3 years, because the Ravens have to make up the difference.
Yeah, but what's the, like, what does that do for you? Like, there's no cap on it, right? There's no reason to not show him.
Well, I mean, if you can save $30 million over 3 years, who doesn't want to do that?
That's true.
But I want to hire the guy, so I don't want a nickel and dime. The last thing I would want to do is
he's going to get it anyway.
I know he's but like, how would you feel if I came to you, Gary, and I was like, what, Gary?
I understand, and that's probably why they're not going to do it, because the Giants are a classy organization. I'm just saying that is a possibility.
Yeah,
and,
I understand that.
Stefanski.
Yeah, you know what it is for me? I wouldn't want to mess around with any of that. If he said it to me, hey, listen, don't worry about it. Pay me $5 million. They got to cover the rest, and then we'll redo this in 3 years when my deal's up and down in Baltimore. Like, if he wants to stick it to Bisciotti, which I don't think he does, But
no, I don't think so either.
Yeah, so I would let him bring that up or his agent. I would not want to do anything that would make him be like, what? You don't want to pay me? You want them to pay me to coach you? That would make it feel too. That feels like a Jetsy move. That's Mickey Mousey. I wouldn't want the Giants to do that.
Yeah, you're probably right. I guess I have to throw that out there.
No, it's interesting. It's interesting.
One other thing I want to mention is another former Giant I was talking to today said that his dream scenario would be that Stefanski does not get an offer from a team that he really wants to go to, and then he comes here and works as Harbaugh's offensive coordinator.
Huh.
And then depending on who Harbaugh would hire as his defensive coordinator, there's plenty of good coaches out there on that side of the ball.
Man, bring Wink back.
That would be like a dream team for the Giants.
Wow.
There's a world in which I could certainly see a world in which Kingsbury doesn't get a head coach offer as well. It would be interesting with Jackson.
I don't think he will.
Right?
I don't see. I mean, Kingsbury he's got a short shelf life at all these jobs he goes to.
I found that weird. I found it a little bit weird too. The mutual parting of ways without a job felt more like a firing, right?
Yeah, I mean, they could just be doing that to save face. Then I saw a headline today that Dan Quinn didn't want to lose either of his coordinators, and he was forced into it. So you never know what to believe. And there were even reports yesterday that Harbaugh and Bisciotti was a mutual agreement, and I'm going, well, that doesn't sound right. And then, like an hour later, the Ravens put out a statement where Bisciotti admitted he fired him.
Yeah.
It's like nobody wants to admit that a guy like Harbaugh can get fired.
Right.
One of the things I want to tell you is that in all the years I've covered this, I don't ever remember a coach being in such demand, at least initially like this, as Harbaugh has been. If you remember, just 2 years ago, Belichick got fired by the Patriots, and the Commanders and the Falcons were the only teams that showed any interest.
Yeah.
And when Cowher retired or left the Steelers, like I mentioned, he made it clear he wasn't going to coach that next season, but the following year only the Browns and the Jets contacted him. So this to me is somewhat unprecedented where, within 15 minutes of this guy getting fired, every team that had an opening was in touch with the agent. And I think some teams were actually in touch with him before he got fired, in anticipation, like, hey, if he gets fired, we're in on him. I mean, I do know of one team that did that. So
I'm trying to think of a coach, a prominent coach who was let go, became a free agent, and it was like a frenzy. Because of, again, Jimmy Johnson, that was kind of abrupt, right? And you would think there'd be a frenzy for him. And then, just slipped my mind. There was one other. Gary, you know this better than anybody. What happened after? Well, not Ditka. That wasn't. There's a couple of coaches that you would think would have caused a stir. I would think that Jimmy would have been one of them.
Yeah, I mean, Jimmy went to Dallas. From University of Miami, and then when he left Dallas, Tampa and the Dolphins were interested in him. I don't know that anybody else.
Yeah, not Tony Dungy, right?
Yeah, no, that never happened. With Dungy got hired right away, but it wasn't like.
But it wasn't a frenzy.
People were lining up at his door, and Jimmy made it clear that it was the Dolphins or nobody.
Right.
So because he loved South Florida so much. But I when Parcells left the Giants the first time. I mean, when he left the Giants, not the first time, but when he left the Giants, he almost went to Tampa. But I don't remember. I mean, he wanted to go to Green Bay that time when Tampa was interested, but Ron Wolf, who's his best friend, really didn't want him. He wanted his own guy, and that's when he hired Holmgren. And then Bill left Hugh Culverhouse at the altar, if you remember that.
Oh, sure.
And so, Bill never had 5 teams interested in him at once.
Yeah, this is pretty unprecedented.
Yeah, this is big.
Gary, we got to run. Thank you so much for this, man.
Great stuff,
Check out the show. Saturday Huddle. It's on from noon to 3, but this week it's going to be on from 4 to 7 because of St. John's basketball. We'll talk to you soon, man. That is Gary Myers. More calls coming up. ENN at 6. Don Hahn and Rosenberg until 7 on ESPN New York.
It's Chuck Devine in Snow Country, presented by Eggland's Best, the only eggs with more fresh and delicious taste, plus superior nutrition. Eggland's Best, better taste, better nutrition, better eggs. After so many cold and snowy days throughout December and January with lots of snowmaking, we switch over to temperatures above average. We'll have softening snow, which is nice, especially on days that are mostly dry. Mountain Creek now going from all 4 mountain areas in New Jersey on 80% of their terrain. Camelback and the Poconos, 3 dozen trails, more than 40 snow tubing lanes. Mount Peter and Thunder Ridge, both 70% day and night in southern New York. Wyndham on 3 dozen trails in the Catskills and Bel Air's more than 90%. Ski Sundown and Southington, both 100% in Connecticut. They go day and night, and so does Mohawk with 18 trails. Stratton on 70 trails. Killington explores 63 miles of slopes in Vermont, both spots with pack powder and hard pack snow. Smuggler's Notch, 54 trails, a foot fresh in the past week.
You don't just ski or ride, you dominate. At Killington, we fuel your adventure. Be the beast. Ski and ride Killington.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. That's 2,000 children every single day. It's a heart-wrenching reality that we can no longer ignore. Find the Children is a non-profit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted vehicle, running or not. Call 1-800-294-0222. We guarantee that you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast, free pickup with 24-hour response. Call 1-800-294-0222. Find the Children provides crucial resources to help find missing children and educational materials to teach kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs have a proven track record of reuniting kids with their families. It's time to act. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Help us build a world where every child is safe. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-294-0222. Together, we can bring these kids home safely. This advertisement was paid for in partnership with Cars R Us and Find the Children.
What if your instincts could pay off? With Robinhood Prediction Markets, you can put your sports IQ to work on the games you know best. It's not you against the house. It's you participating in a live market. Buy or sell your predictions all game long. Trade every play with Robinhood. Visit Robinhood.com/predict. That's Robinhood.com/predict. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
And now let's take a look at the traffic with Brandy Scott.
Thanks so much, guys. We're going to start off in Jersey 17 northbound. Not moving much. It's a crash over by Passaic Street and Rochelle Park. Right lane is out. Just a bad spot for an accident. Backed up onto westbound 80 into the locals in Hackensack. Inbound George looking good for both the upper and lower decks. Cross Bronx eastbound slows you down with a crash in the right lane by White Plains Road. Slow go there from the Deegan on through. Heaviest ride to the outbound George westbound Cross Bronx. Bumper to bumper from the Bronx River Parkway through to underneath the apartments. Outbound Lincoln and Hull and Sunel's just about a 5 to 10 minute ride. Looks like a crash on the Grand Central westbound in Queens by Main Street. You're jammed there from Utopia Parkway. This report is sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you're not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Visit MAD.org. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg, ESPN New York. A lot to dig into. Among those things, though, guys, how about this wild card round that has crept up? And FanDuel, they're turning on playoff mode right now. All customers get a Profit Boost pack every NFL playoff game day. Each game day during the wild card round, you'll find a pack loaded with multiple Profit Boosts waiting for you in the app. Pick the matchups you believe in. Like, I'm feeling the Bears these days. I'm sorry. I hate to say it, Ballard, but I like the Bears. You choose what you want. Maybe you want to take your shot at an upset or build a parlay that fits the moment. Then apply your Profit Boost and go after an even bigger payout while the playoffs get rolling. So visit FanDuel.com, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL, and grab your Profit Boost pack every NFL playoff game day. 21 and over, physically present in New York, opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable Profit Boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY at 467-369. I almost thought we were going to give Gary ENN just now.
I thought
it was great, but he's got great information.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a lot of meat on. There's a lot of meat on that bone.
But
well, he's plugged in.
And I feel like the Grim Reaper every time I talk about John's health, but you just heard Gary admit that it's a thing.
Yep.
And that Joe Shane is back because of it. That was the speculation we had back on Monday, guys, when Joe Shane was coming back, that it probably had to do with John's health. He was not given a contract extension. And I know what Gary means when he says, what do contract extensions mean? You know, you can fire guys, just eat the money. But it does – it would definitely send a message to all of these potential coaching candidates that they believe in Joe Shane. By not giving him a contract extension, it sends the message off like, yeah, we believe in him, but if you got a problem with him, maybe we can make an exception for you. And I would think John Harbaugh would be the guy that they would do that for. Or maybe it's just a case of, hey, let's bring a new coach in here. Let's see how they get along with each other, and we'll structure the contract as such. But, guys, no matter, hearing Ian O'Connor on with Kay, hearing Gary Myers on with us, this sounds like it's definitely a thing. And that's why, and I mentioned it earlier in the show, that Stefanski would be okay. I'm not a huge fan, but I'd live with it. If that was the case right out of the box and Harbaugh stayed in Baltimore, if you lose out on John Harbaugh for whatever reason, I think the pivot has to be McCarthy. Because the resumes are pretty much the same. So if you got everybody high on Harbaugh, is it too big a drop to go to Stefanski? Now, I don't think how fans feel about it should be the reason why you make a decision. But don't you think from a fan standpoint, the better pivot, the less disappointing pivot would be McCarthy than Stefanski?
The less disappointing. Yeah, because
from
of the
a fan
resume.
standpoint.
Because of the championship resume. I think regardless, right now, because of there's so much hype, there's so much talk about it, there's so much they must, that there'll be a disappointment either way. You're not gonna feel better, but I guess, like, would you say the lesser of the two? I honestly, because you could make the argument about McCarthy, or the argument against McCarthy, because of what's been said about him. When he got the job in Dallas, they talked about the clock management. He had to be better.
Yep.
And what happened? He messed up managing the clock late in games until they had to get him a coordinator on the sideline to help him with the clock. So both of them are going to come with that disappointment, because Harbaugh at this point now has just become it's almost become mythical, right? In 2 days. And now we're going to wait till next week. He's being smart and he's going to slow play this. Like, this is going to build up to something that will be a disappointment if you don't win now what has become a sweepstakes for the best coach available. Until Tomlin does. And Gary's another one. Ian said it earlier. Jeremy Fowler has said this. There is a belief that it could come to an end in Pittsburgh with Mike Tomlin.
Well, the
and
way
it could come as
Gary
soon as this
painted
weekend.
there's more of a chance of Tomlin being free than McDermott.
Yeah.
Because he
Although
said
Tomlin going to TV, though, yeah.
He felt McDermott was deserving to be fired, but didn't say he's hearing anything that he has to win this game this weekend. But that makes it interesting, too. Like, how many Giant fans would rather have Tomlin than Harbaugh? And that would be an interesting pivot.
Yeah.
I think it would be 50-50 on Tomlin and Harbaugh.
I don't think you're wrong either way. You can't. The one thing, Tomlin would make history.
Would be the first black head coach for the Giants.
First black head coach in Giants history.
Well, and let's
nothing.
be – no, it's not nothing. And also, to that point, Alan, there's a large chunk of the fan base that'd be very happy about that.
Sure.
That's something that's sort of been hanging over this team for a while. So, I'm sort of leaning more. This is bad. I'm leaning more Tomlin after reading that statement from Harbaugh yesterday. I was just like, what is wrong with this guy? This statement is bizarre.
Yeah.
It made me like Tomlin a bit more. Maybe I go Tomlin.
It was certainly interesting for sure, but
emoji, the smiley face emoji in a statement was new for a 63-year-old man.
Yeah,
he wrote his recommendation for his first job. He wrote with a typewriter, and now he's using an emoji. It was a bit weird.
Now, if you missed Gary early on, he said don't expect anything this week. He's not going to interview till next week because his daughter is in college and he's going to deal with that. So he's not even going to go see his brother in the playoff game. So, and we figured all the interviews would be next week anyway. So I'm going to stick to my timeline of no sooner than next Friday. But it doesn't look like anything's going to be happening until after the playoffs. And I also see the irony in that. Let's see what happens with Buffalo.
Right.
Let's see what happens with Pittsburgh. Let's see
things open up.
What shakes loose between now and
it gives,
Tuesday morning because there's a Monday playoff game.
And you know what else too, Don? It gives the Giants time to get in other interviews so that when they do sit down with John, if they're like in full bloom love, to use an expression from the past of the Giants, they can just slide the contract across the table and let's get this done.
All right, something happened at UBS last night that
sure did.
Was there's
wonderful.
Let's just face it, there's two sides to a coin, okay? And we'll describe both those sides when we come up. We've got ENN coming up at 6. We're taking up until 7 o'clock, and then it's Knicks basketball here on ESPN New York.
Rich Eisen here. LinkedIn Jobs is stepping things up with their new AI assistant so you can feel confident you're finding top talent. Get this. Employees hired through LinkedIn are 30% more likely to stick around for at least a year compared to those hired through the leading competitor. Hire right the first time. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/Eisen, then promote it to use LinkedIn Jobs' new AI assistant, making it easier and faster to find top candidates. That's linkedin.com/Eisen to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. And promote it to use LinkedIn Jobs' new AI assistant, making it easier and faster to find top candidates. That's linkedin.com/Eisen to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
This college football moment is brought to you by ServPro.
College football teams have moments they recover from and made it like it never even happened. Like on September 24th, 2016, when Tulsa found themselves down 31-0 to Fresno State. With 10 minutes left in the second quarter, Tulsa fought back to tie the game at 41. And then won 48-41 in double overtime.
ServPro. Like it never even happened.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner.
Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Empower.
After wanting one for years, Kevin is finally enjoying his new hot tub.
This is the life.
He worked with Empower to help him get good at money, so now he can be a little bad.
Oh, no, not my phone.
Oh, Kevin. Kevin's phone may be in hot water, but his finances aren't. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
Talk about stepping up. Bang! Bang!
It's time to level up your game. Introducing the all-new ESPN app. All of ESPN, all in one place. Your home for the most live sports and the best championship moments.
The electricity is palpable.
Step up your game with no annual contract required. It's the ultimate fan experience. Level up for more on the ESPN app or at stream.espn.com. Sign up now.
The College Football Playoff Semifinals on ESPN Radio. Thursday in the Verbo Fiesta Bowl.
From 47 yards, he got it!
Ole Miss faces Miami.
And it's intercepted! It's going to be a Miami pick six!
Then on Friday in the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. It's Indiana, Oregon. The College Football Playoff Semifinals, 7 Eastern.
Thursday and Friday on 1050 ESPN and the ESPN New York app.
Hi, I'm John D'Agostino from D'Agostino & Associates, the injury firm. You know what's interesting about the words personal injury? The first word is person. And at D'Agostino & Associates, that word means everything. That's because I handpick every person in our firm, from the pleasant professional person who answers your call to the experienced person litigating your case in court. Because every person in my firm is an extension of me, and the only way to exceed our clients' expectations is to deliver the highest level of personal service every single time. And that starts with hiring the right people. You see, we know that every client is a person too. Someone going through the toughest time in their lives and deserves to be more than just a file number. At D'Agostino & Associates, we put the person back in personal injury. So call 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-248-3222 and ask for me, John D'Agostino. And let's talk about your case, person to person. D'Agostino, law, bite back.
Game Time is brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, because when it's game time, guys,
it's Tully time.
You betcha.
It's Tully time.
Trying to right the ship against the Clippers. Coverage immediately following us on 880 at 7. And the Nets will take on the Magic in Brooklyn, as basically the family of Peter is going to be at the game today.
That's right.
Laura Stiles is going to be there. Natalie is going to be there.
That's right.
And that'll be at 7:30. Tullamore Dew, the original triple distilled, triple blended, and triple cast matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew or try the new Tullamore Dew Honey during today's action. Glasses up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly. I did not do the game at UBS last night. That was an ESPN Plus vehicle.
Now, let me ask you something, Don, before you get into the details of this horrible atrocity of a game.
9.
Is there any part of you that missed out on account of it being historic, even though it was historically bad for the Devils?
Not a second. Not a millisecond.
Really?
Glad you didn't have to call that game. How about
you know
that?
why, Peter? I understand where you're coming from, and I like where your head's at, because it's like...
You're not a fanboy who would have cried.
It's the first time. No, but I'll explain it in a second, but the history of it. It's the worst shutout loss for the Devils since March of 1986, when they were beaten by the Rangers 9-0. That 86 Devil team was terrible, and that 86 Ranger team went to the conference final. It's up there with the 12-4 loss to Edmonton, which is renownedly known as the Mickey Mouse game back in 1983.
Yep.
It's a humiliating loss. So I understand the historical aspect of, hey, I was there. But to call that, Peter, would have been very, very difficult. And not from a fan standpoint, just from doing the job as the Devil announcer, as the Islanders are scoring goal after goal after goal. It's awkward. What do you say? I felt bad for Matt and Chico on the radio having to call that. And the Islanders will start with the good. Anthony Duclair with the hat trick. Cizikas was fantastic, but congratulations to Ilya Sorokin. Franchise record for shutouts as he topped Chico Resch. So Chico was in the building for that. He was spectacular because the Devils did get 44 shots on goal. There were times early in the game where I thought they were the better team. I thought they were the better team, Alan, after one. It just they got zero goaltending. And that might have been one of the worst goaltending performances I've ever seen.
I mean, Markstrom was stick side, right? Like they were killing him stick side. It was all short side. Those the first 4 goals were all the same place, weren't they? Now, defensively, they weren't very good. Your Devils weren't very good in front of him, but he was whiffing on a lot. And it just started getting frustrating. But the Islanders were getting odd mans. They were just down the ice faster. And I don't know, man. How do you leave him in the game? How do you That's the part that I didn't get. It's like they're leaving him in. He's obviously doesn't have it, and they're just smoking him. It's an absolute party going on in the building. You're embarrassing your number one goalie by leaving him in the game.
Let's hear from Sheldon Keefe, head coach of the Devils, why you left Markstrom in.
It's all part of it. I mean, my thought process on it is, like I said, I didn't like the quality of chance that we had given up, and Markey has been playing quite well for us, and I thought deserved the opportunity to stay in, through the first period, and decided to go back out with him again in the second. And once that next one goes in for me, now it's just he's just got to own it, and he's just got to battle through the rest of the game. So that's really it. But like I said, a lot of it was just the quality of the chance that we'd given up, then the mistakes that were made leading up to that chance. I don't think it was fair. It would be fair to just put it on the goaltender in that case. And then once they start going in, now it's too far gone. And now I don't want to put Jake in that game, in that situation, given that we need him the next time out.
How do you feel about that?
So it went from giving him the benefit of the doubt to almost punishing him in one fell swoop.
Well, it really is amazing, right, Peter? Because he's not wrong. Again, the quality scoring, they were in odd man situations. There was easy just up the left side. Duclair's goals were all almost the same goals.
Yeah.
And it was all easy up. There's no real resistance. The Devils' defense has not been – Don knows this. I'll say it for him. The Devils' defense has been soft lately. And the Islanders took advantage of it. And on top of it, we're beating them to the same exact spot every time. But to say after that you got to own it, what?
Well,
I don't want to put Jake in that situation. What?
Well, here's the history, okay? Now, I was not here last year to know this for fact, but talking to people, that he's not a guy known for pulling the goaltender. He pulled Markey earlier in the year, and Allen came in and ended up giving 4 goals up.
Yeah.
So he doesn't, and the Devils have a game Thursday in Pittsburgh. I got a flight tonight to catch up with them in Pittsburgh, and then they play back-to-back games against Winnipeg and Minnesota. And Minnesota's going to be a very emotional game, taking on Quinn and all that stuff. So you've got 3 games in 5 nights, but that Saturday is a quick turnaround. It's a 1 o'clock start local in Winnipeg. So Allen's going to have to start 1, if not 2 of these games.
Yep.
So you put him in a game where your team's not playing well. He gives up a bunch of goals. It could affect his next start, which he's starting the next game. He's starting in Pittsburgh tomorrow.
He's starting in Pittsburgh.
Right.
There's no doubt about it.
So I understand that logic, but you do get to a point where it's like, dude, this is
9?
Is not good.
I mean, at 6, that's got to be it. 6.
I would have had Jake Allen start the third. It's 5-0. Now
Yep.
the Devils had a power play, so maybe he's thinking, hey, we score on the power play, we make it 5-1.
Really?
I think he was making a statement. I am not going to pull Jacob Markstrom early in this game because then it's going to make it look like it's his fault and bail out the rest of the team. So I think he was sending a message to the rest of his team, this is on you guys.
Okay.
Then at some point, it got on Markstrom too.
And he's like, all right, well.
Then you get to
buddy.
a point, it's like, I can pull him with 10 minutes left. What are we doing? So I think he got caught betwixt and between, quite honestly. But because I know I asked him early in the season, I forget where we were, about the play of the goaltending.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, can we stop with the goaltending? It's all about what's happening in front. When a goaltender wins, it's because the team plays well in front of him. When a goaltender loses, usually is because they play poorly in front of him. So he was saying, I think Sheldon's very good with this, that he gets his message across without specifically saying it, is that, hey, we lost because of the guys up front. I don't want to bail. I don't want to always make it seem about the goaltender. And I think early in the game it was, hey, this isn't about Markstrom. This is about us giving up odd man rushes. We're not playing well. Then it became, as he said, then it was on Markey. Because come on, 5-0 going, you gave 4 more goals. Like, that's bad.
That felt like a white flag. Like, that almost felt like
and what I thought of, Alan, was what happened to Patrick Roy.
Oh yeah,
in Detroit, in Montreal, all those years against Detroit,
moment.
where that was how he got traded. I'm never going to play for you again because they didn't pull him and embarrassed him.
Yeah, and then he went right up to who was was it Mario Tremblay? Like, he went right up to
said I'm not playing.
First went to the coach, then right to the GM. Said, I'll never play for this organization
again. Was that Serge Savard? I'm trying to remember who the general manager was, but the way it was at the old forum, Peter, is that like right behind the bench is where the general manager sat. So he whispered something to the GM, like went to Tremblay, sat down, and what he said was, I've just played my last game in Montreal. And they ended up having to trade him to the Avalanche later that season, and that was it. That's epic. But it's also, think about this, Alan. all those amazing dynasty teams during the Islanders. 19 straight series wins.
Yeah.
Never blew a team out by that many goals.
It's hard to believe.
Is that you're telling me they didn't beat the Golden Seals at like the Coliseum 10-0?
I know
How
they
weird
had,
is that?
I thought they had an 11-2. Like I thought there was something somewhere. Though back then they were putting up double digits. Sometimes they were so damn good. I do want to. You had the devil's side is the devil's side. I do want to give an Islander side to this whole thing, right? But look, it was a big win, but no trophy was raised. But when a trophy is raised, it can feel like the season's over. But on the ESPN app, it never really is, because with more than 47,000 live events, plus originals, highlights, coverage from every corner of the sports world, there's always something to dive into. Plenty of hoops to watch. No off-season. Just everything a fan needs to keep going. Always in season. Get all of ESPN all in one place. Download the ESPN app on your TV or phone today.
That was very nicely done.
Thank you.
Really was.
He's very professional.
The Islanders side of this thing, though, needs to be said, and that is that Patrick Waugh has done, speaking of Patrick Waugh, the head coach, he has done a tremendous job this year. Matthew Darsh, at the very start of this thing, you could see that the franchise changed. And I'm telling you, the moment, and we did mention this when it happened, I feel like the moment the season turned, we're all giving Matthew Schaefer a lot of credit for his impact, the 18-year-old defenseman who is probably going to run away with the Calder, should be considered for Norris. He has been a force multiplier. He has been a franchise changer. Can't deny that. However, when they benched Matt Barzal for missing a morning skate, for being late to it, and it was something that clearly had happened before, and they said, enough's enough. You're supposed to be one of our leaders, and you can't do this, and so they scratched him. And that's embarrassing for a star, to be scratched, a healthy scratch. Since then, he has been such a dynamic player. He has been an all-star. He has played great. He has given you an honest effort every night. Something changed in that organization that day, Don. Something changed. And as they got healthy, and as, of course, again, Schaefer and his impact and what he's done as far as just the effervescence of a young, talented player that gets the old vets to kind of get out of their country club ways, and now they feel like, you know what? We're a damn good team. And they obviously get great goaltending. Something special happened there in that moment, and I know Patrick Waugh was at the front and center of that. I do think Darsh had something to do with it as well. And that building, someone said it on social media, when they talk about, I think it's 7 straight sellouts now at UBS. And some people get to be like surprised, like, oh, they only come out when the team's good. No, they come out when the team gives them a reason to come out. That's why the franchise could have never left Long Island, because there's always been support there. But they have given you years where there's no reason to sit in traffic and be miserable and spend your money for a team that wasn't given the effort that you would expect. There's a high standard that happened in the early 80s. And they have that standard back. And it all started because they held their best player accountable. It cost them a game, but they didn't care. We're not going to do this here. And that, to me, is where things really turned. And that's why I tip my cap. Darsh has been great since he took over, but Patrick Waugh deserves a lot of credit for the coaching that he has done with this team. And they are a team to watch as we get close to the playoffs.
ENN's coming up next. Hahn Rosenberg, ESPN New York.
This new year, get started on your next success with University of Maryland Global Campus. Apply by February 11th and get your application fee waived. An accredited state university, UMGC offers online and hybrid classes, along with more than 135 degrees and certificates in fields like business, cybersecurity, healthcare, and more. Gain the skills you need to achieve your career goals. Get your application fee waived through February 11th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chef.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ETHOS.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Hey, New York and New Jersey. Commitment issues? No problem. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $25 a month forever, as in for life. Switch now at boostmobile.com. After 30 gigabytes, you may experience slower speeds. Pay $25 a month as long as you stay on the Boost Mobile Unlimited plan.
Now let's take a look at the traffic with Brandy Scott.
Thanks so much, guys. I hope you have a great rest of the night. We've got the Knicks home at MSG. Really not too bad of a ride on either side of town. FDR southbound, just some minor pockets of slowdowns heading over to the 59th Street Bridge in Midtown Tunnel. Nets are home at the Barclays in Brooklyn. Your typical delays on the BQE approaching Atlantic Avenue. Westbound especially slow, bumper to bumper from the LIE. Grand Central westbound crawling toward Kew Gardens in Queens. It's a big accident blocking 2 lanes by Main Street. Not moving much there from the Clearview. Heading over to the outbound George Bestovitz southbound Deegan and Henry Hudson. West Side Highway northbound just a bit bunched up from the 90s. Inbound George about 5 to 10 for the upper deck. Cross Bronx eastbound keeps you stop and go heading over to White Plains Road. They picked up that accident, but now a broken down car in the left lane in the same spot. Outbound Lincoln and Holland Tunnel is just about a 5 to 10 minute ride. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
Listen up, football fans. You won't want to miss this.
Right now, new Bet365 customers bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. So you could turn that $200 into something bigger when you bet on money line, spread, totals, player props.
$200 in bonus bets when new customers bet $5. I know where I'm going to bet from now on. Download the app today and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in New Jersey. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
Whether you're building a single roof or a successful roofing business, roofing contractors like you need the right tools for the job, and software is no exception. Service Titan is on a mission to be the most powerful software platform for the trades, with purpose-built technology proven to maximize revenue, streamline operations, and deliver 5-star customer experiences. We are taking roofing companies like yours to the next level and beyond. Service Titan, we are built for this. See what we can do for roofers at servicetitan.com.
Rich Eisen here. Hiring for your small business can feel like a full-time job, but LinkedIn Jobs AI Assistant takes the heavy lifting out of it. It filters applicants based on the criteria you set and suggests 25 great fit candidates daily, so you can invite them to apply and keep things moving. Hire right the first time. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/Eisen, then promote it to use LinkedIn Jobs' new AI Assistant, making it easier and faster to find top candidates. That's linkedin.com/Eisen to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. Then promote it to use LinkedIn Jobs' new AI Assistant, making it easier and faster to find top candidates. That's linkedin.com/Eisen to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply.
880 ESPN, WHSQ, and WCBS-FM HD2, New York. A Good Karma Brands radio station. This is an ENN Special Report. Now reporting,
the very handsome Jewish man, Peter Rosenberg.
We should talk some sports. Do what you want. It's ENN.
Peter Rosenberg!
Hi, everyone. Welcome to ENN.
Ray-Ro.
You ever watch YouTube?
That's right. It's brought to you by Ramsey Mazda. And I'd like to start off tonight's ENN by saying good evening to Don.
It's just like the salt and pepper. For Peter, sex is always on the table.
And good evening to Don.
It's $29.99, and I got a guy named Butch.
That was such a great bit.
And good evening to myself. His job is not to please Uncle Danny. And to myself. You suck bleep.
Well, what could the bleep mean? Alan?
Yeah, there's only one bleep there.
No, there's more than one bleep.
Eggs.
There is?
Eggs. But you wouldn't have bleeped eggs.
He wouldn't have bleeped eggs.
There's more than that. There's more than what he's thinking in eggs.
I don't know.
I'll be honest. The one thing I miss about having an office is the taste of Steve Hart's nuts.
There you go. Now we're out.
Wow.
You know what, Alan, you remember the point I made yesterday about how no one cares about me, and when I say great things, they still don't make it as drops?
Sorry, you were saying? No, I'm just kidding.
No, it's not us.
Do you remember?
You're talking about
Remember yesterday?
They have names.
Remember yesterday?
Jacob and Anthony.
Jacob and Anthony. Do you remember when I said there was a moment at the beginning of ENN, and I said something about like not being tall or I'm a short man, something like that, and I was like, oh, well, I didn't mean that for that to be a drop, but
yeah, that definitely should have been on the page.
Even when I call it out, guys, they just go, it's not worth it. We don't care.
You have to pay
Let me say
good
evening to John in Manhattan.
You're lonely. She's waiting. Call now.
And I called and I got
Oh, my God.
Oh, boy.
All
right, guys.
Those pants seem really tight.
His name's Butch. Okay. Butch Yo-Yo.
Oh, so you've had this before, Don.
We've met Butch in the past.
Butch is my go-to.
Yeah, we love Butch Yo-Yo. All right, guys, I have something exciting here, folks.
What do you got?
How about this?
How about it?
It's returning July 16th through the 19th at the Javits Center. Yes, tonight fans get the first look at who's heading to Fanatics Fest 2026. Javits Center, July 16th through the 19th in New York City. The Giants running back, the great Cam Scatterbo, is set to reveal the first lineup of talent live tonight at 6:30 Eastern on his Twitch stream. The names drop in real time, and fans will see it happen live all tonight on Twitch in Cam's live stream to find out who is going to be at Fanatics Fest this July. Now, one person who could be there, because WWE has quite a presence, is the new Women's Intercontinental Champion, the man Becky Lynch, who I guess she finally saw my tweet from Monday night in which I wrote, "Last night, lunatic Becky Lynch had me removed from ringside for absolutely no reason." And she wrote, "Psychotic, lunatic, I demand a full apology, or you, Pipsqueak Peter, might have to look for another job. Kicking you out was a warning. Next time I will send the bulldog after you."
And who would that be?
I don't know.
Seth?
I don't know what sort of security threat that is exactly, but she means someone serious. She may mean our highest level security, perhaps. I don't know.
I think you got to test that out just to find out who Bulldog is.
I agree.
She's not well, folks. She's not well. Speaking of which, you don't know where I'm going to go here, do you?
No.
Jerry Jones.
Oh.
Yeah, Jerry Jones with a very weird answer to a very simple question.
Will Schottenheimer get to hire his own coordinator?
Trump just said it. I'm running. Venezuela. Seriously, Shotty had everything to do with hiring Matt Eberflus last time, and that's not done as a negative. It had no way in the world he's here if Shotty didn't want him here. Okay, let me be real clear about that, and he can tell you in his own words there. No way in the world if Steven didn't want him here. But I particularly had a party when we got him.
Any reason to have a party?
No. Other than the Pearl Jam song that Peter sings. There's not much there.
Eberflus?
No.
Yeah.
It's not. The song's good, though. Did you guys watch any of when Jerry was on Christmas Day on Netflix before the Commies Cowboy game?
Not a second.
Oh, he was so bad. It was him and Michael Irvin together, touching each other, hugging each other. I thought they were going to bust out some yayo right there on the table.
Just do lines off each other.
Listen, it's Netflix, baby. Anything can happen. Here's Jerry Jones. He says he has some lofty goals.
My goal in life is to retire as the owner that won the most Super Bowls. That's my goal, to be retired in the NFL as the owner that won the most Super Bowls. Wow. We've got 3. How many more do I have to go as a single owner? Bob's got how many? 6. So I've got work to do. Got work to do. I got work to do, but at least I'm up to the second rung in the ladder.
I'm up to the second rung in the ladder.
I guess I don't know how many trophies are on each rung, but if you're 3 behind,
it's a lot. It's a lot.
It's going to be tough.
Well, you got to win Super Bowls once every 3 decades. That's not going to work.
You think there's any chance he gets one?
I mean, you don't rule anything out.
I'll rule it out.
Well, we didn't have the Bears and this, being this good, and the Patriots. I know you thought they were good, but it's amazing how we've seen teams, right? Patriots are the second team in a row to go from 13 losses to 13 wins. The Commanders did it the year before. So it's not impossible, but I'm not betting on it. Not in that division. Not
if
with
you could.
the direction they're going.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, I don't know if I can picture it. I just don't know if I can picture them getting one.
This
and
is
it's odd.
Raw DiPietro. Wow.
What did I do?
I can't even clean this up. So I'm just going to forward it to you.
Rick's been living on the edge on the air recently, so.
Damn.
So
Well,
you can
please
only
share.
imagine what's Here, let's see.
I'm going to send it to you now, right? I'm sending it to the
great.
group.
Great.
Let me know what you think.
I'm sure I'll love this. Oh, my God. I mean, is it?
I don't know who's offended. You might not be offended.
No, it's not. Well, by the way, it's also it's only funny in that it's disgusting. Like it's not even. It doesn't even. It's a.
But it's not a clear shot at you. It's not necessarily a clear shot at you.
No, it is. Not really.
Well,
but it's completely. It's just like I have no good joke. I'm just going to say something completely filthy to make a joke.
But you know what? It got a laugh. Listen,
can I be honest?
It's not Gallagher. It's Dice Clay, but he got a laugh.
It's definitely Dice
Well, first of all, he always gets a. You talk about the cheap seats. He gets a laugh from Hahn every time.
But this is
when
this
we
is
did
a
our
classic.
Alan, when we did our, Don, when we did the Monday Night Football watch along, when Alan and Rick got together, it was like it was worse than Michael and Rick. Alan
No,
just
it was not. It was.
Oh,
not
he loves
worse.
him. It was
not.
everything Rick says. Alan, you got
I have known
you got another
him.
one.
I have known Rick since he's 18 years. In fact, since he's 18 years old. Okay. Like that.
So you're to blame, is what you're saying.
I just know.
Might be.
I know.
You've been encouraging this.
He doesn't finish the sentence, and I already know where it's going, and I'm already laughing. That's why it looks like I'm laughing. Like I know where he's going, and it's it's
he's
rarely
not
not
Dave
funny.
Chappelle, respectfully.
But the reason
it's
I
rarely
don't
not
mind
funny.
it is because that relationship makes sense. Michael and Rick do not make sense. Alan and Rick make all the sense in the world. They're hockey guys. They're around the same age.
It's just
But that was a terrific.
I guess when I
Thank you.
read that, you hear his voice saying it, which is what makes it funny.
I'm not impressed. I'm
I'm sorry.
I wish there was a way to convey. I can't even clean it up for the audience.
I need another 6 inches right now.
Yeah.
I don't want to shut the audience out.
I'd say there's no shot.
But there's nothing I can do.
No, the chat is
not only
begging
that,
to
I'd
share,
say
and I'm
you
like,
wouldn't-
can't type it.
It wouldn't even be good to share. I don't think it'd be good for anyone to share.
No.
Like, I don't think it would be good for Rick to share. I think we'll probably just move on with our lives. I think that's the best thing that we can do. All right.
Okay.
Let's see what else we have here, folks. Good news for the Jets.
What?
Alabama's Ty Simpson,
Sure.
who's projected to be among the first quarterbacks selected in the draft, is passing up his senior year of college to turn pro. He put out an Instagram post. He had narrated video. Grateful for every second. Blessed beyond measure to be able to chase my dreams. Time to roll Tide.
Right.
Okay.
Now, that's
Wasn't
the
all
way to issue a
perfect.
statement, right, Peter?
It
There
wasn't
were
all
sentences
perfect,
and
and it
everything.
didn't have to be.
No
but
emojis?
every moment had meaning, and I gave Alabama my all.
Oh, he
And
kept
I got
going.
so much more in return. Coach Saban was right. It was all worth it. Yes, that's right. A 20-year-old from Alabama is 1,000 times the writer John Harbaugh is.
Well,
These are sentences.
yeah.
Subject, predicate. I
Right.
get where he's going. It
No
ends. A
emojis?
new one starts.
Did he only mention Saban and not his actual coach?
Yeah, I think he only
Oh,
mentions Nick Saban.
That's gotta be.
Wah, wah.
Would that make you feel away?
Well, 'cause Saban,
It's not great.
Well, Saban said something that he remembered. That's why I think he included him.
Sure. I'll go with that.
And it's Saban, for God's sake. Let's be honest.
Well,
That's the only number he's keeping.
unless the Jets are going to take him in like the second round, I'm all set.
Oh, really?
Too soon.
You're good.
I'm good. Too soon.
Michael Kay has spoken up on Don's list.
On the list?
He says he left out Family Man. The list is disqualified.
Well, why does he have to be so aggressive? He couldn't say, I would have included Family Man. Surprise, Family Man's not there. Now the whole list is disqualified. Who are you taking?
Well,
out?
hold on.
Well.
You're saying that Michael Kay went too far. The same guy who just today, when he came on our show, was angry at me when I didn't come to hang out with him, when I never knew we were supposed to hang out. He's a Looney Tune.
Well, that's one thing, but Don, that was not your best work today. I think it's now confirmed.
Well, don't go after the work. Go after the opinion. Who
Well,
you taking out?
I
put in the work.
Your lists are one of my favorite things of the week, and I'm just saying that this week I'm left unsatisfied.
Hear me out. But you disagree with my opinion. If I were to say, "Oh, I forgot Family Man," I'll make it number 2. You could say, "Well, that's a poor job by Don. He didn't put in the work." But I didn't leave anything out because of neglect or didn't put in the work. That's my opinion.
All right.
Opinions can't be wrong.
That's true.
You might not agree.
They just
with
can be
the
off.
list, but don't go after the effort.
It's not effort. It's just that not. Did I say you're not your best effort?
you
Yeah.
said
Well,
it's
I don't
not
mean
my best
effort
work.
meaning try. I mean just not your best. Not your best work. How's that?
That's what you.
Well, I actually disagree. I think the issue here is the topic. Like Nick Cage, he's a mixed bag.
Is he not worth a list? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying
Birthday,
he's not
yes,
worth
not
it.
worth the list.
That's what it sounds like he's saying.
Like instead of Nick Cage, how about a Nick Saban list? His favorite quarterbacks. Ty Simpson, where would you put him?
Next to Webb Simpson. I like Nick Cage. Do I like Nick Cage enough
to make a list?
For a list.
Well,
I do think he's famous enough. I think he's big enough for a list, and I think it works because he's sort of oddly controversial.
Yeah, because people don't like him.
But I also think some of the movies are, you know.
All right.
All right. Well, listen.
Like I watched Family Man last week.
They can't all be winners.
I watched Family Man last week. I liked it. It's right up my alley. It tugs at the heartstrings, but it's still.
I thought you were going to say something else.
Well, wait a minute.
Ace.
That doesn't even make sense.
Well, it's the way
General soreness.
You always start like you always start that way, and then I just figured that was going to be interesting.
Don, do you understand what he's even saying?
Yeah, I do, but I don't agree.
Yeah, I do.
But because I don't think you were going there, but he thought.
No,
you were
it's just the way he did it.
It tugs at my heartstrings?
No.
Well,
never
focus
mind.
on
Just finish.
Short man with a long stick.
There you go.
I wonder if
We
she
talked
goes
about
out.
that stick in the past.
We have.
Yeah. I wonder if she goes out with one of the Yankees. Wonder if she's related to Buddy Wackett.
Here comes the happy.
I just.
You did this all show, Peter.
He's
and now
the
that Don and
Philip
I are doing
Mine
it,
makes sense.
You're
Don
like
said that John Harbaugh is attracted to Jackson Dart. That was worth laughing at. Okay? And I didn't drag anyone into it or make a bad joke. I just couldn't hold back laughter. That was legitimate, sincere laughter, which also could have made a great drop. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, but they don't do that.
No.
But they don't want to be great. Here's Shams Charania, our very own, with the
Shams?
latest on Shams. That's right. The latest on Trae Young.
Trae Young, the four-time NBA All-Star guard, has the Washington Wizards as his top preferred trade destination. Sources tell me his agents and the Hawks are collaborating on figuring out a trade landing spot. And in the nation's capital, Trae Young would give the Wizards a lead guard for the future. They've got young players. Clearly, they've been rebuilding, but they've got young players that he could build with. And there are relationships that Trae Young has throughout the Wizards organization, specifically with their executive, Travis Schlenk, who drafted Young number 5 overall in the 2018 NBA draft. There is traction on a deal. A few days ago, it was agents and players and teams talking, but now there is traction in these trade conversations and his eventual exit out of Atlanta.
Man.
Well, they can't wait to get him out of there.
All you need to know about how much someone cares about winning is that their desired destination is Washington.
Right.
Respectfully.
Was he trying to achieve? Well, let me say something that literally has never been said.
He was like, I want to break the internet. What's something no one has ever said? I want to be on the Wizards.
Can you love an executive that much that you want to then go to the team that he's on now? How much sway can that have?
I know.
Isn't that
just
who
love
drafted?
talking.
Who traded for him in the draft? right?
Awesome.
And what does that do for you now?
Well, first of all, if you're Washington, you're desperate for something, right? You need a player of some sort. I mean, they brought in Jordan Poole, they brought in C.J. McCollum. Like they're trying whatever they can.
Yeah.
But at least this is a guy that can, 30-10, 25-10. Just he's not going to play any defense.
Destination. Wow.
Yeah, that's.
Don,
wow.
I can picture it right now. After all of these years, Trae Young is going to be the man that turns around the Wizards. They're going to now finally.
Get a
Gilbert
jersey.
Arenas couldn't do it. John Wall couldn't do it. Bradley Beal couldn't do it. Michael Jordan couldn't do it. But Trae Young.
You want me to get you a jersey?
This thing in Washington. Oh yeah, of course.
It's a Trae Young, Ice Trae Wizards jersey.
Oh, can you imagine?
Their jerseys.
Can you imagine what that's going to go for in the sale bin a few years from now?
Right.
Here's a great player, LeBron James. You may be familiar, Don.
Sure.
Speaking about playing in back-to-backs.
I'm 41 years old. Of course, there's always every back-to-back. Didn't look like it. Every back-to-back for the rest of the season is TBD. I am 41. I got the most minutes in NBA history. Bank it right now, okay? What are we talking about?
It's just you don't look like you're 41 on the court.
But I am. Look at my birth certificate, December 30th, 1984, 4:39 p.m. That's when I was born.
Any suckers out there?
I ain't, when I came out, slapped the doctor in that. All right, I'm done.
You know what, Don? How dare you? There actually wasn't as much of that as you would have expected.
Well,
He actually, and I like that's at this point in his career, that's the LeBron he needs to be.
Yeah, that makes sense. He's 41.
Just speak like no cliches and no. Like sometimes, like when he tries to sound like really smart and sage. No, man, just that's how you should talk. Very matter of fact to everybody.
Right.
Well, and fun.
Because it's fun, yeah. Like we all know what this is about. We all know your deal. Like you have nothing to prove. Just let's have some fun. Not that's when I became the GOAT. Like let somebody else say that. You don't need to say that.
Yeah, I actually totally agree with you.
I really
love
enjoyed
that version.
Yeah, I enjoyed
that was fun, LeBron. That's the guy I think he is. I think he mistakenly just falls into trying too hard sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I think LeBron's a pretty cool guy, good hang, and sometimes just slips into like, I got to take myself seriously. I'm that guy, which he is that guy, but he doesn't need to talk like that guy.
Yeah.
Stephen A. Smith with some interesting thoughts on the possibility of the Jets in the draft.
I'd eat something to provoke myself to have food poisoning where I'm like garbage before I'd play for the Jets. I'm telling you right now, whatever I could do to be alive and be okay in the end, but to ruin their thoughts of ever wanting me on their roster, I would do. And damn it, I'd go back to college before I play for the Jets. They are a football atrocity. They are awful. I mean straight garbage. I am a black man that is consistently pushing for opportunities for black coaches throughout the years. It hurts me to say this, okay? Ain't no way in hell Aaron Glenn should still be the head coach of the New York Jets. They were horrible and digressed, damn near nosedive.
He's not.
I don't think Jets fans love this, but he's not altogether wrong.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the lie.
Well, you don't agree with the
could
Glenn
be nicer
part.
ways to
You don't
say
think
it.
Glenn should be out?
Well, no, I don't think Glenn should be out after 1 year. I do need to see Darren Muji have an off season, and then let's see what year 2 looks like. But year 2 we're talking about very, very, very small amount of patience going into that game.
He's on notice. I didn't think there was any way he'd get fired because of his contract situation, but next year all bets are off at that point.
Yeah.
Start 0-7 again.
0-7, Don. 0-7?
That's what they started this year.
Yeah, but I'm saying I don't think you're getting 0-7. You're 0 for September.
And the scary thing is, we don't know what they're going to do. They don't know what they're going to do. They don't know who's going to be available, who's going to declare for the draft, what might shake loose, and they're going to have the toughest schedule in the NFL, like the Giants had this past year. So even if they improve, the record may not be all that different.
Well, it better look better. How about that?
Well, don't get blown out by over 20 points the last 5 games of the season.
Yeah.
And have that happen in the first 5.
Yeah.
When you're on a 10-game losing streak by losing like double digits every game, that's going to be a problem.
Yeah, I would say. Did you see Garrett Wilson's response?
Yes.
I did see that. Garrett Wilson in the comments taking some big shots at Stephen A. and ESPN.
Garrett Wilson jumped into the reply section. Didn't like it, which tells you where Garrett Wilson's head is. Because there were some concerns Garrett Wilson doesn't want to be here either. But he jumped in and said, you got to be a real sellout and above all a square to be on ESPN nowadays. Used to love that show. Now, to be on ESPN these days, a sellout and a square. Garrett, I take that personal.
Yeah, that's your guy.
Which one are you guys?
I like where he's going. Like,
but I understood. At least he's defending the Jets.
Yeah, you'd rather have him that than like big eyes emoji.
Right. or like the tweet.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the big the eyes emoji would definitely cause concern. Instead, he defended his franchise, which tells me he feels a certain way about being a Jet, and that's a good thing. But
I like that.
Not everybody's a sellout.
A little harsh for the old company here, but I respect him not going after the Jets. That'll do it for ENN, brought to you by Ramsey Mazda. Get more for your money at Ramsey Mazda, like a 2026 Mazda CX-50 or Mazda CX-90. Choose wisely. Choose Ramsey Mazda.
All right, we're going to say goodbye to Alan. He's
got
some
MSG
work to do. We will talk to you again tomorrow as he's getting ready for the Knicks and the Clippers tonight at Madison Square Garden. Last call, crew. 1-800-919-3776. We got the football. We got what happened at UBS last night. Knicks. It's all on the table till 7 o'clock, and then it's Knicks basketball right here on ESPN New York.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Ox Spine at New York Presbyterian is always in pursuit of a better way to heal the spine. We're getting more people moving again with minimally invasive, non-surgical, and surgical treatments with innovative solutions for every back and spine condition and your unique needs. Expert spine care is available now across New York City and Westchester. Find a doctor at nyp.org/oxspine. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian.
The wildcard round is here, and FanDuel is turning on playoff mode. All customers get a profit boost pack every NFL playoff game day. Each game day during the wildcard round, you'll find a pack loaded with multiple profit boosts waiting for you in the app. Pick the matchups you believe in, take a shot on an upset, or build a parlay that fits the moment, then apply your profit boosts and go after even bigger payouts while the playoffs get rolling. So visit FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. Grab your profit boost pack every NFL playoff game day. Each game day during the wildcard round, you'll find a pack loaded with multiple profit boosts waiting for you in the app. Must be 21 and older and physically present in New York. Often required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions do apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY at 467369.
If you've been injured on a construction site, then you need a lawyer who knows New York's unique labor laws. At the Parisman Firm, they have decades of experience handling construction accident cases and a proven track record of delivering huge results. Their team has already recovered nearly $1 billion for hardworking New Yorkers. From scaffold accidents to slip and falls and equipment failures, they've got your back. Call the Parisman Firm now at 718-WORKERS. That's right, 718-WORKERS, because your case is their cause. Get the justice you deserve today.
Presented by Robinhood.
He crosses, spins, pulls up.
With Robinhood Prediction Markets, buy or sell your predictions all game long. No house odds, just you versus the market. Put your sports IQ to work. Trade every shot, block, steal, run, and moment that shifts the game. With Robinhood Prediction Markets, trade every play. Visit Robinhood.com/predict to start trading. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
Bet365 is paying out before the final whistle.
Check out Bet365's unrivaled early payout offer. When you bet on a team to win and they take a 17-point lead, you get paid no matter the final score. Forget the final whistle and start counting that cash. Hold up. You get early payout on parlays, too.
Download the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in New Jersey. T&Cs apply.
Progressive presents the Passionate Sports Fan Checklist. Signed jersey of your favorite bench warmer? Check. 14 bobbleheads that look nothing like the players they're emulating? Check. Twin TVs so you can watch the game on 2 different networks simultaneously? Check. Life-size wall sticker of your favorite player that routinely freaks you out at night? Check. A second life-size wall sticker so after the first one freaks you out, you see the second and you're like, oh right, the wall stickers. Check and mate. Bundle your renters and auto insurance with Progressive and save on protection for the things on your checklist. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers not available in all states or situations covered subject to policy terms.
A SoFi personal loan is here to help you achieve something once thought impossible. Overcoming high-interest credit card debt. Walk the tightrope of your finances with one low, fixed-rate monthly payment, no fees required, and as soon as the same-day funding. That's right. Pull off your own debt-defying stunt with a SoFi personal loan. Visit SoFi.com/trick to learn more. Loans originated by SoFi Bank, N.A., member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. NMLS 696891.
So last call, crew.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever's on your mind up until 7, then we'll give you some Knicks and Clippers tonight. 1-800-919-3776. A lot on the table to talk about, but, of course, the main topic of conversation, John Harbaugh, feels like a fait accompli. But the way things have gone for the Giants and in football in general locally, I guess we don't count our chickens, but it does feel like all roads are pointing to John Harbaugh getting the shot to be the next head coach of the Giants, and there's a tremendous amount of credibility there. You got to go. Peter, the last coach, excuse me.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I've been fighting it a little bit.
Yeah.
I think the voice is a little better than it's been the last couple of days, but we'll see.
I just feel your stuffiness is what
yeah,
makes me
it's just I went to urgent care today because I'm going to be in Pittsburgh.
Was the doctor a quack?
No. She was great. Because I got the flight to Pittsburgh tonight, and then I'm in Winnipeg and Minnesota. I didn't even check the temperatures, but I'm sure they're going to be like sub-zero. So I wanted to, and it's like bordering on a sinus infection, so trying to keep that at bay. But, when you go to credibility, they have not hired a coach with any credibility in a while, right? No. Dable had never done it before. Judge had never done it before. Shermer was 9-23 as the coach of the Cleveland Browns. McAdoo had never done it before. And you go back to Tom Coughlin, that would probably be the first one that had some credibility going to a couple of championship games in Jacksonville. And then before that, you probably have to go, because Jim Fossil had not done it before, Dan Reeves, who had taken the Denver Broncos to those Super Bowls. But this will be the first time, if they get him, where they'll actually hire a coach that had won a championship someplace else. Right? I'm not missing anybody. Parcells was a first-time coach. Mm-hmm. And then you go back into their history. I mean, I'd have to, the Jim Lee Howells and Steve Owens of the world and what they did before they became a Giant. But so we're talking about the most credible hire that this franchise maybe has ever had from a resume
Michael
standpoint.
Made this point earlier, Don, that while that's great, it does apply pressure. It's immediate expectations. It's not taking a shot. You're not taking a shot with some up and coming coordinator. You're taking a guy that everyone believes is a slam dunk.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of pressure.
Comes with its own stuff.
There'll be a lot of pressure for sure, but there's a lot of pressure on everybody that comes here. But you're right. There's going to be a level of expectation. I think with the way this fan base feels about Dart and the way this fan base feels about John Harbaugh, that there is going to be a feeling that this team is going to instantaneously be competitive. Maybe not a playoff team, but a team that's going to win 7-8 games, be alive in December. And if you're not, that would be a pretty big gut punch. But there's a lot that has to happen because as much as coaching was a problem, the roster's a problem too. And I'm with you, Peter, maybe not as deep as you are, but I want to see more from Jackson Dart. I'm not 100% sold. How could you be? So let's see whether he is going to mature into be the quarterback.
Like you saw a guy with awesome potential.
Yeah, and it's still potential that has to be seen through. That's why I thought these games at the end of the year were important. I want him to taste what winning's like. I want him to be in a drive where the idea is to convert third downs, score touchdowns, win a game. So we can agree to disagree on that, Dave Rothenberg. Let's go to the phones at 1-800-919-3776 and talk to Joe in the car. You're on ESPN New York. What's up, Joe?
How's it going, guys? When I called and Anthony answered, he said you guys were talking about Garrett Wilson answering Stephen A. So I'm not telling you to tell me what you guys said, but I just wanted to call in because I was basically, when I was reading what he said and when I was reading what Jarvis Brownlee had replied to him as well, basically what I was getting out of it is that they are kind of not happy with the fact that a guy like Stephen A., who never played football before, is, talking about their team and talking about football and everything. But I know the NBA and the NFL are two different leagues, but I remember the whole thing with the NBA going to Prime was like they're covering it in a positive way, and it's not like the way, TNT and Shaq and Chuck was talking about them. So, like I said, I know the NFL and the NBA are different, but, what is it? Do the players want to hear strictly from former players, or do they just or do they have a problem with, I don't know what their problem
I think in this
is.
case...
You know what I'm trying to say?
I do, but in this case, Don, I imagine you'll agree with me. I think this is just a case of a player being offended that Stephen A. went after the team that hard.
That hard.
I don't think it has as much to do with Stephen A. not being a player, but it was a very harsh criticism that many people happen to share.
I will say that if Dan Orlovsky had said that, I think he would have went at him just as hard and probably said something like, what do you know? You were on an 0-16 team. We've seen players take exception to what players say, sometimes even more so, because I think some of the current players think they should be protected by the former players at times. I think I'm with Peter. I think the harshness of it was what got the reaction.
Yeah, that was basically my next question. If Ryan Clark or Marcus Spears or Dan Orlovsky said what Stephen A. said, would they be reacting the same way? Personally, I don't think so, but that's basically mainly the question.
It depends on who it is and how much they respect that person. But all I know is, covering this as long as I have, I feel like sometimes players take exception to the former players saying it because they're used to the non-players saying it. It's whatever. But they feel like there should be some kind of fraternity agreement not to go after players or go after franchises that hard. Listen, I'm not going to accuse Stephen A. of being performative. I think he believes everything that he says, but he was a little over the top because he's on TV and he's trying to get a reaction. And it's boring to say the same old thing. Nobody wants to play for the Jets. Nobody wants to coach the Jets. Nobody wants to be drafted by the Jets. So he went to the extreme. And good for Wilson defending his team. How many players have we seen, Peter, like tweets like that, retweet tweets like that?
Mm-hmm.
So good for him. Let's go to Elliot in the car. You're on ESPN New York.
Hey, guys. Thank you for taking my call. So I have a 6-year-old son and a 10-year-old daughter. And my question for you guys, need some advice here. How can I ensure that we stay Giants fans, especially because I have other family members who are Eagles fans, and they try to lure them away from the Giants to the Philadelphia Eagles?
Well, you're a Giant fan, right?
100%.
All right, so you just – I'm in the same boat. My 8-year-old son is still very much on the fence football-wise because, what am I supposed to do? We watch the Giant games together, and more times than not, we leave disappointed. Hopefully, if they get John Harbaugh and turn it around, but there's really nothing you could do, Elliot. If the Eagles are going to be winning Super Bowls and the Giants are going to win 3-4 games a year, guess what? Your son's probably going to become an Eagle fan. And my advice to you as a dad is just let him be.
He was close recently, but I had to tell him something important. My son's name is Theodore. And I had to tell him, I said, well, there is a Giants player that has a similar name to yours, Theo Johnson. And that was enough to lure him back because he almost went with my father, his grandfather, to the Eagles side. But that was able to draw him back in to the point where he goes up to people wearing Eagles hats and gives them thumbs downs.
Here's my advice, okay? And I don't think this is being Let him be.
Being what?
Let him do what he's got to do. But expressing your disappointment in his decision might sway him back. Because if you got a bond with your son and he's like, all right, if you want to be an Eagle fan, that's fine. But boy, I'm gonna miss watching Giant games with you. I'm really gonna miss us bonding together. Because if you're gonna watch the Eagles, you ain't watching in the living room. And maybe that'll swing him, right?
A threat is what you're saying.
Well, no, it's just honesty, right? Like, what do I gotta miss the Giants so my son can be an Eagle fan? Just to show him the reality. And all I know is that sons don't want to disappoint their fathers. My brother did, but I think he's
how'd that go, by the way?
Listen, for their relationship, not great, but he's still on this earth. But that's what I would do. Guilt, strategic guilt, is not necessarily a bad thing.
That's what you call it?
Yeah. What is so wrong with it? Elliot, thank you for the phone call. Remember, my dad threw David out when he celebrated the Danilo miss against the Cowboys in 1981. Threw him out of the house. I'm not suggesting that. I'm just suggesting, Dad, the Eagles are on, and the Giants are on at the same time. Can we watch the Eagles instead of the Giants?
Absolutely.
Is that bad parenting if you say no?
No, that's honest. You're not watching. Why would you watch it?
How many more sacrifices does a father have to make? I pay the
You've made a
bills.
lot.
I take care of you. But you know what? Sundays, that's where I watch the Giants. That's how I bonded with my dad. I never even suggested to my father we change the channel.
And that's how you ended up the good son.
Well, I've told this story before. Game 7 of the World Series, 1986, was the same time the Redskins were playing the Giants on Monday Night Football.
And
guess what? They got the color
TV. World
TV.
Series were on the small TV.
We wheeled out the black and white, and we watched it on the black and white. And I didn't. Did I agree? No. Did I say anything to my father? Absolutely not.
No, you didn't want your block knocked off.
But that was 1986. I don't think he would have physically accosted me. He would have heard me out, and it wouldn't have changed anything. It would have just been a waste of words. Oh, he's lucky he let me wheel out the black and white. And he was a Met fan. And they were in the World Series, Peter. Game 7. But the Giants are playing on Monday Night Football against the Redskins. Big difference. At least in his mind. And you know what? It's his house. Is it my house? It's a different story. Already the kids have said that they'll ask me, and then they'll go to Mom. It's like, Mom's the boss. So
because they know she has the checkbook. She's got everything.
They're starting to figure out that I could wield as much power as I claim, but
do you really?
When the decision times come, they know where to go to get the answer. All right, more of your calls coming up. Got a ton of calls. Really eclectic list of things to get to. Don Hahn Rosenberg, ESPN New York.
Avatar Fire and Ash has arrived.
I am the fire!
Get your 3D tickets now for the greatest chapter of the biggest saga in history.
Whatever happens, protect this family.
Critics rave it's by far the best Avatar movie.
If your father and I do not return, you go as far and as fast as you can.
Movies don't get any bigger than this. Avatar Fire and Ash, rated PG-13, now playing.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ETHOS.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
What if your instincts could pay off? With Robinhood Prediction Markets, you can put your sports IQ to work on the games you know best. It's not you against the house. It's you participating in a live market. Buy or sell your predictions all game long. Trade every play with Robinhood. Visit Robinhood.com/predict. That's Robinhood.com/predict. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
Listen up, football fans. You won't want to miss this.
Right now, new Bet365 customers bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. So you could turn that $200 into something bigger when you bet on moneyline, spread, totals, player props.
$200 in bonus bets when new customers bet $5. I know where I'm going to bet from now on. Download the app today and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in New Jersey. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
New York Presbyterian treats more heart patients than any other hospital in New York. From common to complex conditions, our cardiologists and heart surgeons are pioneers in advanced heart care, leading the way in minimally invasive treatments for faster recovery times. Find a doctor at nyp.org/heart. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian. New York Presbyterian Hospital based on U.S. News and World Report 2025 to 2026 Cardiology, Heart, and Vascular Surgery Rankings.
Palmieri to the net. Score! The New York Islanders are back in action with a brand new theme night schedule you won't want to miss. Bring your friends out for the holidays and take home a custom holiday replica jersey or arrive early for special bobblehead giveaway nights for Matt Barzal and Bo Horvat. Barzal for Horvat, score! Explore the full theme night schedule at NewYorkIslanders.com.
If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, then you need a lawyer who knows New York's unique personal injury and workers' compensation laws. At the Parisman Firm, they have decades of experience handling all types of accident cases and a proven track record of delivering huge results. Their team has already recovered nearly $1 billion for injured New Yorkers. From construction to car accidents and slips and falls, they've got you covered. Call the Parisman Firm now at 718-WORKERS, where your case is their cause. Get the justice you deserve today.
At City Harvest, we're on the road every day rescuing millions of pounds of nutritious food for New Yorkers in need, transforming surplus food into sustenance, sustainability, and smiles. That's how we feed good. Donate at cityharvest.org.
Hey, sorry I missed you. Your call is very important to me, just not as important as the New Jersey Lottery's Green Ball promotion being back on Pick 3 evening drawings. See, if the green ball's drawn, that's a free second chance to win? So, yeah, you get it. It's only through February 1st, though, so try me after then?
Must be 18 or older to buy a lottery ticket. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. For game odds and promotion details, visit njlottery.com/pick3.
All right, let's keep it short because we've only got a limited amount of time and a full bank of calls. Felicia, Mississippi, you're on ESPN New York.
Felicia.
Hey, Don. Thanks for taking the call. I just wanted to make
feeling
a
it
couple
tonight.
Good.
Yeah, you are not lying. Just a couple quick points. I'm so impressed with this team. Like, I know nobody picked us to even make the playoffs this year. So, Don, my question for you is, when
She's talking about the Islanders, folks. She's talking about the Islanders.
When would you consider us legit? When would you say, okay, there's someone to really watch out for? Is my question for you, and then I have one quick point if I could get to it.
Well, I would say you're right now. You're in second place. What are you 4 points back at Carolina? You start challenging to win the division. Listen, I could take them seriously now because I don't think there's a great team in this conference. So you can make the case that they're as legit as anybody in the East. But as far as Cup contender worthy, big run, you catch Carolina, you win this division. You're telling me something.
Yeah, and then just my quick point is, we don't have Palmieri. I can't imagine. I feel like the offense would be so much better if we had Palmieri too. We're killing off penalties that we weren't last year. Power play still atrocious, but and then Riddick really held it down while Sorokin was out. I'm just really pleased with how Wall has us playing, and thanks for taking the call, guys.
Oh, Felicia, great job. Yeah, they are playing terrific, but we'll see. It's just there's so much parity in sports, but especially in the Eastern Conference of the NHL. Danny on Long Island, what do you got, buddy?
There he is.
What a day, guys. I'm happy for the Giant fans, but now I hope that they get him because I think if they don't get him for whatever reason, imagine being Harbaugh's agent. I know Harbaugh probably wants to go to the Giants, but it's slow it down. Slow it down here. We are going to suck every cent out of whatever team wants you because you have 7 people that want you. So this is not going to happen quickly, Don. You are completely correct. I'm glad he's out of the AFC North. Neither him nor Tomlin deserve to have that ending. From what I understand, they wanted him to change his coordinators. What? Because the players weren't happy? That's not the way they do things in Baltimore. That's not the way the Harbaugh boys do anything. The Harbaugh boys are men. They're in charge. The players are not in charge. It's worked for 20 years. Now we're going to start making me change coordinators because the players aren't happy. But more importantly, Don, Nicolas Cage list. I'm gonna put Nicolas Cage in for Fraudulent Friday. That he started his career as Nicholas Coppola, as if no one knew he was related to the greatest director of all time, and then opted to change his name once he got a few roles. So people didn't think it was a nepotism situation. That's a fraudulent move. Peter, do you agree?
Well, yeah, either do it right away or don't do it at all. But I get the logic, but I don't know. Danny, thank you for the call. I don't know the backstory on why he changed it when he changed it, because I think he wanted to be an actor right away. But I don't know. There's worse things in the world. Richard in Manhattan, you're on ESPN New York. What's up, buddy?
Big Dick.
Don, Peter. Don, your dad would have told you the greatest Clipper ever was named Joe DiMaggio, the Yankee Clipper. Harbaugh should have been a Jet fan. He did the same mistake that Herm Edwards did 22 years ago, had Pennington kneel instead of moving the ball closer in Pittsburgh, cold outdoor stadium, you got to get close. Made the same mistake, same result. The Jet kicker missed, and the Baltimore kicker missed. Now, who was the last coach to come from Baltimore to New York? He did pretty good, fellas.
Yeah, Weeb Eubank.
That's right. Won 2 at Baltimore, came to New York and won. Allen, I'm sorry, Allen's not there. Don, Peter, you know who the MVP of the NBA is?
Who is that?
Go ahead, go for it.
You can't argue with this. Tyrese Halliburton. They'll go from 45 to 13 wins. You tell me somebody else 32 games difference. Nobody. Nobody's ever done that. Fellas, you guys haven't talked about what happened the last weekend. That's the most unbelievable thing I've seen in sports. The New Orleans, Atlanta, Carolina, Tampa. On 2 fronts. First of all, you had the game on Sunday, standalone game, that was going to determine who wins the division, and they had nothing to play for. That's number one. Number 2, it was a 3-way tie. Atlanta wins. If it's a 3-way tie, Carolina wins. If it's a 2-way tie, Atlanta wins. Those are 2 unbelievable circumstances. I've never seen that in sports. That was unbelievable, fellas. It was so great to see.
Richard, it was so strange to see 2 teams playing for nothing and playing for everything for somebody else. But this is why you take Richard from Manhattan.
No, see, that's the thing. Here's why I love Richard. 2 things. Number 1, I'm not asking. I'm demanding. And I'll lose the job if I have to. If I don't hear Richard saying Harbaugh by early in tomorrow's show, there's a problem.
Do you want me to ask for it so it'll get done?
Dom, can you ask for it?
Yeah, you got to cut that up. The Harbaugh. I've never heard that.
You got it, Don.
You've never heard someone say John Harbaugh. And the other part I love about Richard is you could say what you want about him. He loves sports so much that he's so good at pointing out things that really can get overlooked because, frankly, Don, no one cares about the NFC South, but it is a pretty fascinating situation.
But he gets caught up, just to clear up some of the clerical errors in that call, not just the mispronunciation of John Harbaugh. But if it was a 2-way tie, Tampa goes. A 3-way tie, Carolina went. Atlanta never had any chance of getting in there, but he did throw that in there. But all right, well, listen, this was a good show. We're going to do it again. I will be in Pittsburgh tomorrow for the Devils and the Penguins. God knows what's going to happen in that game, but definitely tune in. We will get the latest on the football, find out what the Knicks did against the Clippers. I can tell you we're open to Knicks if they lose to the Clippers. Beat the Clippers, it'll be another interesting story. Buddy, I'll talk to you tomorrow.
And last thing from Richard, good point on Tyrese Halliburton. That is getting slept on. Thanks,
yeah,
Richard.
but you got to play 65 games to win a postseason award. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Hey, fans! Welcome back to Fansville's Cheers and Tears.